most part, just they don't like they don't care about other people's opinions. They just want to say what their own opinion is. You know what I mean? And like it's like a self-justifiable thing. It's weird. That's what I've noticed, anyways. Maybe not all Redditors, but I don't know. You know.
No, I mean that is what it is, 100%. Like Reddit doesn't give a fuck about other people's opinions on Reddit. You know, and if you disagree with them, you end up getting banned. Like I got banned again on
Yeah.
Diablo.
Yeah, you disagree with the mods, they ban you. No, and that's the true thing. That dude, Reddit is like I think back in the day when Reddit was big, it wasn't as moderated, and but then I think they got hit with some stuff and it's like with great power comes great responsibility, right? That's how they feel. They're like, well, we're like such a huge central hub of knowledge. We have to make sure people aren't like doing bad things or saying bad stuff. So now we're policing people, and so it's like it was weird, man. There's things that I don't even dare talk about on here just because they're too what's the word? They're too like I don't know, like it's just politically charged, I guess. But it's one of those things where it's like they're banning speech in some areas, but not in other areas, and it's just like it's odd, dude. So very strange.
Plus,
Very
I
strange.
mean, I would say putting knowledge in Reddit is like in the same sentence. It just doesn't work.
you, Reddit helped me figure out my pelvic floor problem. So you know what? I gotta chalk one up for Reddit over here. Yeah. Well,
That's fair. Wait, you ready to get this kick or started?
yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go.
Guys, welcome to the Stone Gauntlet. We're doing Novem-bruh, 2023. So
Yeah.
we are gonna spice things up a little bit today. Jordan's gonna go first. I'm gonna go
Nice.
next, and then Spider Dude, who will be joining us here in a bit, will be going last
He's
because
eating wings again. So
he's always eating fucking wings. It's
those
always
wings are
about
too
food,
good. They're too good. I get it. I understand. A young man and his wings.
dude.
Um.
You know what? If I was his age with his stomach and had no like ulcer problems,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'd be eating wings.
Yeah. I'd be eating wings too. Now, dude. You know what kind of wings I eat?
What's that?
Garlic Parmesan.
Dude,
Can't
garlic
handle anything
parmesan's the
spicier.
shit though.
It is, but it's not exactly the most masculine wing out there. I don't know. So not exactly. It doesn't instill you know bravado.
So
Um.
do you just go into like wing places and you're just like, hey, what if I complete these garlic parmesan wings in under 10 minutes? Will I still get a free tea?
No, they kicked me out. So they're like they're like 260-pound male who can bench over 225, and you're eating garlic parm. Get the fuck out of my store.
So yeah, humble brag. All right,
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah, you like how I put that in there? Every man who bench presses once a month is gonna do that. I'm sorry. That it's like a disease, dude. I apologize.
Listen, I can
Um,
bench press the weight of a controller.
dude, we used to go climbing together, dude. I wouldn't sell yourself short. That shit was dope.
Oh, that shit was banging. Okay,
Yeah, dude.
let's
Yeah,
get your
we'll
section.
we'll get back on this section. All right, cool. So to start ourselves off, dude, Netflix is really just putting. It's another series, man. They said what's another OG series that we can animate, and so Terminator is getting its own animated series. Now the only thing that kind of sucks here is they've given no date. So I mean, it's 2024 is very vague. And the teaser literally is just a black screen,
Yo,
like what's on the
Jordan,
screen right now. What's up?
I think we just got some real time feedback. Lord of All Doors asked us to slow our roll.
I want to get really into this topic. Oh yeah, man. I'm sorry. What do you think about the Terminator animated series that there's no information or still shots about for?
So what? That's the entirety of their of their Terminator announcement.
Dude, the teaser is 50 seconds long, about 50 seconds long, and it's literally this black screen with this little red lines on the edge, and all the words are just in that font. And I mean, it says something along the line of like basically someone going to like 1997. So they're going back in the past, I'm assuming, right? So yeah, so that's it. That's all we're getting. So, but I don't know. I'm hyped, dude. I just hope it's not another, blood dragon, because that was the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever seen.
It sounds like
But
they should have gone to 1997 to create this.
yeah, hopefully it's animated like a 1997 anime. That
Dude,
would be
that'd be
pretty dope.
fucking sick. Like
Um,
X-Men, like the
yes,
97. Oh yeah.
yeah, dude. So Terminator, new Terminator. We'll see what. Well, I'll report more on it as more comes out. Blue-Eyed Samurai. I'm not gonna ruin anything. I've actually only watched about 3 or 4 episodes. They're long, dude. It's eight. It's 8 episodes, hour long each.
They're an
And
hour
honestly,
long.
they're hour fucking long. Yes. And I was like, oh no. Like I was like, I'm not gonna be able to finish this before the podcast. I just knew I wasn't. Like there's been too much going on. But dude, it's good. It's essentially like I like it because the main character, it's about this mixed it's a mixed race girl. Her mother was Asian, father was is white, and over in Japan that was frowned upon. And so it's essentially about her and how she became a samurai. And it's really good. The only thing that I am not the biggest fan of is, well, I like it. It's really real. So like it's they treat women like property at that time. And they the dojos are set up. And I like that they're kind of, it seems like they're keeping it real to the age. But it's a little too real. Like, you see a lot of dicks and nudity. And it means because like in those times it's like people didn't wear clothes when they would bathe, when they would do things. And so you see a lot of nudity. I'm like,
Well
and
then,
I'm not the
Netflix
biggest fan of it.
listen to my feedback, because
Did you say more nudity?
I sent them an email that said, "Hey guys, I like your anime styles. I'm really liking Castlevania, but can we please get more dicks?" That's all I've ever wanted, and
And that's
so
what they've done.
they did it. I'm
Yeah.
happy for them.
Yeah, so it's a little weird to like watch it in the living room, and like my wife walks in, and of course, and it's the conundrum, like you'll be watching an action show, she'll be killing people, maiming people, cutting off their hands, and then for like 20 minutes, and then Alex will walk in, and all of a sudden two people are fucking, and I'm like, this is just great. Like, she's like, what are you watching? Why are you watching? What's that thing called? Hentai on the screen? And so, yeah.
You can't even
But
claim it's porn now. I mean, like.
well, that's what I told her. I said, I mean, it's barely hentai. So,
Also, to answer your question, Lord of Old Door Frames, we are doing this a little differently this time. We're starting with Jordan's section. The gaming section is coming up.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we're just switching it around a little bit. Oh, yeah, I'll try Twitch chat too better. Sorry about that. But yeah, dude, honestly, if you had time, dude, check it out. See what you think. Like, the animation is pretty good, but I don't know. There's one character I really don't like. His name is Ringo, and he's like he's got no hands. I mean, he's like, it's like a disability, and like he gets around it and everything, but he's just kind of a little bit annoying. Like, he's like a comic relief character. Um,
Like an over the top comic
a
relief.
little bit. It's like Jar Jar Binks almost.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, not as bad as Jar Jar Binks, but at the same time, it's kind of like Jar Jar Binks. And I don't like comic relief in serious series. Like, Berserk has a comic relief character, but it kind of works. Um, and they don't take away.
I mean,
But
there's comic relief and seriousness, and then there's like blatant comic relief. Like Guardians of the Galaxy does a great job keeping it between levity and then getting serious when it needs to, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then there's Jar Jar Binks is on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, you know what comic relief I always go back to that I hate? It's a specific line. It's in the new Star Wars trilogy when one of the stormtroopers like uses a jetpack and they're like, "They fly now." And I always look back on that and I'm like, God, what fucking awful line. Like, why did a writer. And it's like, of course the characters would know there are stormtroopers with fucking jetpacks. Like, you know, what Finn was a stormtrooper, so it's like I don't know. We don't have to talk about that. I'm sorry, that's a rabbit hole. Well, mentioning Star Wars is not good. So, um, but yeah, so yeah, I would say check it out, man. But the next thing that you might be excited about, man, is they're doing another Witcher animated series. Um,
Who's
and it's
voicing The Witcher?
I actually don't know.
That
I
is
don't.
important. Like, here's the thing. Like, I hate to break. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead.
technically, there's only two people that can voice Geralt, and that is Henry Cavill or the dude that did it in the video games.
Okay, it's the dude from the video game.
Okay, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like it's his name is Doug Cockle. I'm not making that up. So yeah.
Look, you did a fantastic job as Geralt in The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be good. It's called Sirens of the Deep. Um, now I did note that here that like this isn't the first time. They released a movie with Vesemir as the main character in 2021. I'll be honest, didn't watch it, so I can't tell you if it's shit or not, but I mean if you like, did you watch it? Do you happen to know what
What,
I'm
the
talking about?
Witcher animated series without Geralt or
The
Yennefer
movie?
or Triss?
Yeah, the one with Vesemir, young Vesemir.
Yeah, I don't care about
Okay, yeah. You're like, if there's no hot babes,
that.
that's basically what I got out of your sentence.
Listen, when I ran through The Witcher 3, okay, I managed to romance all of them. And then they tied me to a bed and left me in the middle of nowhere, and all I had was Dandelion at the end. But technically, I got to bang all three of them in a video game.
Yeah, still
So
hit. So
I want to see them on the main screen,
animated. So
animated.
um, so yeah, but we have it's a vague 2024 release. So we will see. They have a nice shot here though. Like they are gonna be underwater. So it's essentially like a giant war, and it's actually they actually said it in an article. It's between like episode 5 and episode 6 of season 1. So they're kind of going back a little bit. Um I don't know exactly when that was in the show. I mean, it's been a long ass time since Witcher season 1 came out.
Oh, and
But
Lord of all door frames, buckle in because Micah's got the biggest fucking section I've ever seen. It's like what, 3 pages at this point?
um it's a lot.
I think
It's
he's
it's it's almost it's 2 pages on its own.
yeah, he's gonna have to cut some of it.
Yeah, and for notice, that's I have half a page, and honestly, like I put too much down. Um, yeah, but dude, I'm excited. You know, or like I don't know, you don't mind watching animated stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean I've seen some. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
depends on the context. Like I will watch the Clone Wars. I usually put the Clone Wars on while I'm doing something like totally manly and grown up, like building
is it?
Legos and or playing Diablo 4 or
Yeah,
also I like Archer. You know, I love South Park. Uh, and I like various animes like Cowboy Bebop's good. My favorite's Outlaw Star, you know.
yeah, yeah, dude. It's funny you say that because like one of my coworkers and I were actually talking about like what is anime and what is the difference between something that's just animation and anime. And I was like, dude, the only difference is that it's called anime just because it's made in Japan. That's it. Like, and that's why people will try to tell you Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime. It's a cartoon because it's Western production. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, nobody gives a fuck where it's made at this time and day. Like, this isn't the 90s anymore, right? Like, we have the internet's so fast that like people can work from anywhere, and so it's but we were talking about how like he was like, well, Family Guy's an animation, right? And like, would you consider that a good animation? I'm like, bro, Family Guy's put together like fucking PowerPoint, so not really, but like, I'm like, it is good. Like, it's a funny show. Like South Park is I wouldn't call it great animation, but I was like, it's fucking hilarious. So, but I don't know. It's just it was a funny argument we had, and he's like, "You're really wrapped around it." I'm like, "Not really, dude. Like, I don't care if it's made in Japan or not. I just give a fuck if it's good. If it looks good."
Honestly, at the end of the day, that's what matters, because
Yeah.
they have shitty Japanese anime and they have shitty American cartoons, and
Yeah.
then they have greats that stand out like Cowboy Bebop, Futurama, Archer. Even though Archer kind of lost its way in like the previous few seasons when it tried to do the whole uh where they have like the whole theme throughout the season. It's like
Yeah.
that show works best when it's in spurts. Like it
Yeah.
never focuses on one thing. But anyway, I digress. Go on.
But no. But yeah. But we will carry on though. So yeah, new Witcher series. We'll see how it is. I'll report back onto it when it's actually out. So the new Scott Pilgrim show. Did you watch it?
Now this I did watch. I
Well,
am
okay. Before I say anything, and do not read my section, what did you think about it?
okay. I'm while I'm watching it, and I'm only up to like really, I think like episode 2 or 3.
Okay.
Uh, while I was watching it, I was trying to compare it against the movie because the movie followed the comic pretty well, and it
Yes.
makes me wonder: is this series going in a different direction? Because
Yes.
I don't quite remember Matthew Patel taking over like the fucking league right at the beginning.
Yeah. So, dude, it's its own content. It's its own thing. Like, they basically like it's new content. It's not based off the movie. It's not based off the comics.
Then
Um.
honestly, I don't really have a problem with that. I think if they're expanding the universe of like the fucking Scott Pilgrim, especially nowadays that like the string theory in the multiverse is taking off and the concept that like anything can happen at any time, then we could I don't really have a problem with them expanding the universe of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. So I won't spoil anything. But they really do like you're kind. I won't say anything about what you just said. I'll spoil shit. But
I'm willing
no,
to
like,
bet 100% that's how it ends. Is like, oh, you're in a offshoot of like the quote unquote main universe or the universe that we know, you know.
you're kind of close. It's it honestly, the animation is pretty good. I love the style of Scott Pilgrim. I think it's cute. I think it's funny. Like, I like that they got all the voice actors back for the most part. And it's pretty good, but it's just also, I was just really hoping for a lot more fighting. Just to be real, you know me, dude. I love good animation, like fighting. I'm a big shonen guy, and so I was like, cool, dude. Like, I love all the fighting that happens in the movies and fighting every evil X, and I'm like, I really can't wait to see all this animated. So for them to be like, oh, actually, we're not doing that, was kind of a disappointment to me, because I was like, oh, well, this isn't like the animated movie. It's gonna be something totally else. But I
Wait,
finished
Scott
it.
Scott doesn't fight at all in it?
I mean, how far are you?
Okay, he killed Scott and sent him into like the other
Yeah,
like fucking Ramona Flowers' subset like Space Highway. And
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where I stopped watching for.
yeah. Because I mean, essentially, like, like they don't. Scott does not like fight all the X's. Like, like traditionally like the movie. So
Well, then it's
it's
Scott Pilgrim versus three people. Why
well,
would
so
you
that's what
call it Scott Pilgrim
so
versus the world?
it's called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is actually what the anime series is called. So, because he's just gone. They're like, get this fucker out of here. So, I mean that's kind of a spoiler, but not really. It happens in what like the first episode.
All right,
So
that's actually kind of clever. I'll,
yeah,
I'll give him that.
yeah. So it's unique. Was that Micah? I hear.
Yep, that's me.
How was the wings, brother?
The wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were eating all those wings, like 3,000 hot wings.
Definitely, yes. I'm dead.
It's so convincing. All right, go on, Jordan.
No, but yeah, man. But overall, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but Rotten Tomatoes critics loved it, gave it a 96, and the audience score of 86. So I don't know. They did leave a cliffhanger at the end, showing that they're making more. So I guess we're gonna get a season 2, and I'm cool with it. I'll take it. Maybe season 2 will be better than season 1. So did you watch Scott Pilgrim, Micah?
I have not, no.
All right, no, that's cool. I was just wondering. I was gonna get your opinion. Otherwise, well, cool. So we'll move on. So I've mentioned this before, but do you guys remember me talking about wild strawberries?
Isn't this the Last of Us knockoff?
Yes, the Last of Us Japanese knockoff. And I went ahead and actually caught up today just because they release chapters so slowly. I mean, it's really fucking well drawn. And dude, like I'm digging it, and I love their use of color because manga's usually just black and white, and sometimes they will make like some panels like maybe they'll add another tone in there, but they don't usually add a lot of color. I loved in this scene, and like it's not a spoiler because it's a very small but like they adding the blood to there to just give it a little more oomph to like a death. I was like, this is fucking dope. And it just, I don't know, dude. The story is awesome. It's just very impacting. I like the characters. Um, there is no plot armor, I love when shows do that. Like, it's kind of like Game of Thrones esque, where it's like you do not know if your favorite character is gonna die. So, I'm enjoying it.
Is it like
I would go
Game
ahead.
of Thrones or is it like The Walking Dead? Like Game of Thrones was literally anybody's on the table. The Walking Dead is like anybody's on the table except for Daryl and Rick.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to compare them because right now there's only 15 chapters of Wild Strawberries, so we're talking what 25 times 15 is like 300 something. There's literally 300 pages worth of content, which is nothing. So yeah, I would say at this point it's like Walking Dead. Like, your main dude is probably not gonna die. That would be a little bit weird. But everyone else, it's been kind of like, oh, yeah, I kind of like that guy, but yeah, I guess he's just dead now. It's brutal. So,
That's kind of cool though.
um,
I mean, like, I'm not at all trying to bash this. Wild
no,
Strawberries is something I'd actually probably be in. Um, where would you find that?
dude, it is the Shonen Jump app, man. It's $3 a month for a fucking shit ton of mangas. And like, dude, we're talking like we've got Chainsaw Man on here, Demon Slayer, even older series like Hunter x Hunter, all of JoJo's, Jujutsu Kaisen, um, One Punch Man, Rurouni Kenshin. They have a fucking shit ton, dude. It's such a good deal. Yu Yu Hakusho, which I didn't add by the way, but they're making an IRL movie of Yu Yu Hakusho. IRL series. Do you remember
Okay.
Yu Yu?
No.
Do you remember the guy? He wore like a green jumpsuit and he could shoot like a spirit gun out of his finger.
I recognize the name. I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and like, is it a TV show or series?
It's an older anime series, yeah. But I'll bring it whenever it comes out. I'll bring it here. Um,
Like,
and
you
talk.
gotta realize, I've seen like the Starbucks of anime. You know, like the ones that everyone says just
Yeah,
so they can sound cool and fit in.
yeah,
And that's like, Naruto, DBZ, Cowboy Bebop. The most fringe I've probably seen is Evangelion and Outlaw Star.
yeah. No, no, I get it. Yeah, I didn't expect you to watch it, but but I'm always like, maybe. Have you ever watched Inuyasha? Yeah, you have, right?
No.
Oh shit. Okay, well, never mind.
But hold on,
Um,
I have seen Pokemon.
okay, that is very niche. Good. I'm very proud of you.
Funny thing is, I'm branching out more than he is.
Actually, he probably is at this point.
I got hooked into Ruby recently, so
Into what?
Ruby.
Oh, okay, okay. Ruby's really interesting, man, because Ruby spawned from a company called Rooster Teeth, and I'm sure
Mhm.
Kirby knows about a famous little series called Red versus Blue.
Fuck yeah, that series kicks ass.
Yep.
Did it?
And so, go ahead.
Did it? Like, I remember Red versus Blue got serious at some point. Or they like spawned into like a serious series called like the whatever, you know.
Yeah. So
It was on Netflix for a while.
Red versus Blue took a turn because they used to film all their episodes in game, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then at a certain point, they said, you know what? We're just gonna actually animate this, and so it's not as like authentic kind of feeling. Like I remember watching some of it, and I was like, this kind of feels weird because it's not really in game anymore. Like they animated it themselves. But they became a production company and they funded Ruby, and yeah, Ruby's pretty good, man. It's definitely it's not like I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably need to watch it more because I can't say anything bad about it. A lot of people fucking love it. Um,
Well,
but
supposedly the first like couple of seasons are just like it's not really good animation at first.
yeah,
Supposedly it gets better through like the 9 seasons it has. So
it does. It does 100%, and they have some games out for it too, man. So you can check those
Mhm.
out. But the last thing I was going to talk about is Invincible, which have either of you started watching Invincible yet?
Uh,
No, but or what?
I thought you did, didn't you?
No, I was about to mention because on Fortnite I got Omni Man and I kept winning.
Nice,
I think
nice.
you. I bet you kept winning because Amazon Prime paid you to win. They were like,
Yeah,
he's playing Omni Man. Make sure he's winning so he watches our show.
yeah. No, dude, watch this show, guys. Like, if there's been any animated show I've said to watch, watch Invincible. Like, one thing I really love that they do is because I've read a good amount of the comics, like 50, 60 volumes, or I guess chapter. I don't know what to call it, but I love like Robert Kirkman he's doing a really good job with changing things for the better. Cause I'm like, oh, like because I just started rereading the comics. I started over because I was like, I really have no fucking idea. And I'm like, oh, that like it's cool what they're changing. And so like season two, watching it, I'm like, okay, like I like this change. Like he made a couple changes where it was like instead of this character like this arc happening way later on, he made it happen sooner, and it kind of has an effect. And so it's been really good. I mean, I love that it's a little more adult. I mean, it's fucking brutal. Like Omni Man fucking splashes another Viltrumite's fucking stomach, and this dude's holding his organs like around so that they don't fall out completely. And I don't know. I love that. Like I just love it when it's just a fucking nitty gritty.
You know,
Um,
I did read that. I was reading an article on it. It was actually by reading an article. I mean, I read the title of an article, but it said, "Invincible season 2 proves why the show is better than the comic." What's your
yeah,
take on that?
100%. I think the show is better than the comic. Um, they made some changes that are just I don't know. It just flows better. It has more heart, in my opinion. I think when Robert Kirkman made the series, you know, I think he was maybe he was just winging it, like just kind of doing whatever. Like he hadn't really fully drafted it out. And so with the show, I think he's had a little more time to think about it, and he's like, it flows a little better this way. Cause like, dude, the big twist in season one literally happens in the comic in like the first 8 issues, and it's fucking huge. And so the show mixes a bunch of arcs from like up to chapter, like up to volume like 25. So we're talking what, almost like 20 volumes later of content before that big twist, because the big twist is amazing. I'm sure you both know what it is.
I mean,
So,
you could probably. Oh well, I guess you can't really say it because it's not like a year old, is it?
Invincible's been out for a long time. Like we've
Yeah,
been
it says
in, we,
2021.
yeah, we've been in development hell. So it kind of sucks. So, but I don't want to ruin any spoilers. So go watch it,
Wait,
and
is
that
it really only on Amazon Prime right now?
it is. But I mean, if you don't follow legal platforms, I'm sure you could easily find it on other websites.
If you don't
Oh,
If
follow
you're
fair
if
enough.
you're
legal.
not shackled with a clearance like myself, so
Mm.
I'll give you my Amazon Prime if you want it to watch it.
I might take up on that offer.
Yeah, dude, it's good. So the last thing I'll say about it though, and this will actually end my section as well, is so I've been waiting fucking 2.5, 3 years for this shit to come back, and they've played the 4th episode, and now they're making us wait more. I thought it was gonna be 6 months. Thank God it's not. They're starting up the second half of the season on January 4th, so I only have to wait a month. But I was a little disappointed because I was like, fuck, like I wanna see where the show version is gonna take this. Um,
You got a
but
question directed directly at you, Jordan.
let me go see what is the question, Jordan? Would you like a show with more gore or more story? Oh man, that's a tough one, brother. Um, whew. I could. There are animated series out there and shorts that are literally just like, like just fighting, and that's it. Very little story, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, I would much rather watch beautifully animated fighting than a lot of story sometimes. But I don't know, man. A good story goes a long way. Like, I love Berserk, and Berserk has a beautiful, fucked up, story, but it's got a lot of gore too, and a lot of fucked up shit that happens. So that's tough though. I think if I had to like make a meter though, and gore was all the way on the left and story was all the way on the right, it would probably be like a little bit more toward the gore side. Like I can do without a story if it's beautiful gory fighting. So thanks for the question. Um, but yeah, that is the end of my section. Unless you guys have any questions.
I think you nailed it. Let's give it
Thanks,
up
man.
for Jordan. Good job, bro.
Oh, I'm sharing
Yeah,
my background.
How do I?
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Close
I
stream.
killed it.
I love the background.
Thanks, dude.
All right, let's get started on video game news, guys. I've kept this relatively light this this month, and that's because next month the entire episode is going to be a coverage of the video game awards. We're basically going to be talking about who's winning in what category and like who we think should have won, so on and so forth. Uh, so I wanted to kind of like not take up the entire podcast with the video game section, but I've touched upon some of the big things that happened recently. Number one, the GTA 6 trailer is finally dropping on December 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So set your clocks, guys. Eastern Standard Time is East Coast. So
Yes.
everywhere you or anywhere you are, just subtract some hours if you're not on that point, but you're still in America. Uh, I think like Jordan's East Coast, so it's like what?
Yeah.
Midnight over there, kind of almost. Uh, West Coast is probably 3 to 4 hours behind, I think, right?
Wait, what time did they say they were gonna drop it?
Guess I'll have to wait till
GTA
yeah.
GTA 6 trailer drop.
9 a.m., which is fucking weird, dude. Because like if let's see, I am 2 hours
9 a.m.
removed.
our time or whose time?
The East Coast time.
Oh, so
Really?
if it's 9 a.m. East Coast, then it'll be in the morning for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that means a
So
lot of
it's
people are
gonna be
going
like
to be either waking up to an alarm for the GTA 6 trailer, or they're going to be waking up to it.
yeah, because what? It's gonna be like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. your time.
Yeah, I'm not waking up for it. I could care
Yeah, no.
less about
Now,
GTA.
now we're waking up and we're doing a stream, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we're gonna do one of those reaction streams where
Yeah,
we
we're gonna
put
do a
like
reaction stream.
our face like agape and all that over it. No.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. You're in the stream will be me sleeping. Um, it took me I think 7 years to beat GTA 5, and I love the story. Don't get me wrong. And I'll probably end up picking up GTA 6 just because I do really like Rockstar's story. Though I disagree a lot with the fact that it released GTA 5, ironically, 5 times probably over the past 20 years, or 10 years. I mean, their company practices are not the best.
It better be a good game.
It better
Yo,
be good, dude.
People have
yo,
been waiting like 10 years for this thing.
you know who we have to blame for the fact that they keep re-releasing it?
Skyrim
Ourselves,
or that.
because us dumb fucks keep buying it, and then we're like, why do they keep doing this? But I mean, not us specifically, but the consumer in general, dude. It's kind of like Call of Duty. Like, we're all like, damn, dude, this is just the same shit over again. But they're like, well, you guys keep buying it, so we're not gonna stop.
Yeah, but at least like Call of Duty pretends it's something different. It's
That's
like
true.
literally GTA 5 for the 360,
Yeah.
Xbox One, and then Series X. Like,
Yeah.
and then they re-released whoosh whoosh Red Dead Redemption, their really good game. By the way, I'm a huge Red Dead fan. If they were like Red Dead 3 is dropping, or the trailer for that is dropping on December 5th, I'd be up 2 hours before to watch it. But uh, they don't give a fuck about Red Dead. They never gave a fuck about Red Dead because they haven't given anything to the online like they have given to the GTA online. That's probably because a lot of people spend a lot of time over there.
Well, they spend so much time. I think it's their gambling system, dude. Like people buy money and gamble in GTA. They have to have more gambling in Red Dead.
Yeah, I know. You can't just play poker. Like, I just want to play poker, and then when someone cheats across the world, I can be like, stand up, you yellow belly varmint, and shoot him in the stomach, you know? But I can't do that. Anyway, GTA 6, for all you people out there, is excited. I will be excited if it's Vice City and they bring back the soundtrack from Vice City. That would get my attention.
Fair enough.
So moving on, Red Dead, or not Red Dead, God. Resident Evil 4 VR is coming out on PlayStation on December 8th. I am both impressed and pissed off because I don't have a PSVR and this shit should be like universal on Quest. But Resident Evil 4 VR would be fucking sick, and it's probably it's gotten me thinking maybe even buying uh, a PlayStation VR just to play it because I love Resident Evil 4. I'm pretty sure this podcast has shown that I'm a fucking Resident Evil nerd, and I'll play pretty much every Resident Evil game that comes out again and again and again till I have nothing left to do in it, like I did with Resident Evil 4, and then I'll go and buy it for another system and do it all over again. Because I have it for both the Steam Deck and the Series X. Resident Evil 4 for me is like my it's my opioid. I can play Resident Evil 4, pick it up, and be lost for the next week.
This man straight injecting Resident Evil in his veins.
If I could, I would. Like, so if you have a PSVR, pick it up. It will be worth their time because I've seen Resident Evil in VR. I've played Resident Evil 4, the original, in VR because I have it for the Quest, and that was done well. So Capcom has done nothing but impress me with its Resident Evil remakes in recent years. Some may disagree with that, but I can't see them fucking this one up. Like it's their baby, you know.
Yo, what Quest do you own?
I have a Quest 2
Dude, why haven't we played any Quest games together?
because my Quest 2 mostly sits behind my my bed, and I rarely bring it out.
My Quest 2.
Do you have a Quest 2 as well, Micah?
My mom. It's technically my family's over here, but Oompa gave it to us, so we're like, okay.
Oh shit! We'll have to talk more about this later, because I'd love to play some co-op games with you guys in VR.
That would be fun.
The best games on Quest 2 are not even on Quest 2. You literally have to go to like through the computer to get to your Steam Deck or to get to the Steam versions of VR and play them there. Like the Steam VR games are fucking sick. Quest 2, I feel like Quest 2 was the prototype for Quest 3.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. But of course, I modded the fuck out of my Oculus, so. But yeah, like Ghost of Tabor should not have been released on the Oculus. Like it runs like I think Ghost of Tabor would run better on my toaster than it does on the Oculus. So it's and it just makes me want to vomit whenever I play it because of how bad the frame rate is. But yeah, no, I get what you mean.
And Lord of all door frames, you are right. Rockstar is known for releasing shitty fucking ports and calling them remasters. Like they released GTA, what's that? 3 Vice City in San Andreas, and all they were was just a port from the fucking like computer version, or there was no upgrade to it whatsoever. And
Well,
it's
if you
like,
think about it, they're probably aiming like maybe this is like a long shot, but they're probably putting all their money into GTA 6 or like some future GTA game. If but like that's just like I said, it's a long shot.
no, that's exactly what they're doing. In fact, they're pouring all their money into GTA Online and saying fuck the rest of their properties. Like when they re-released or remastered Red Dead Redemption, they didn't fucking touch it. All they did was release it for the PlayStation for some goddamn reason and the Switch. And it's like, why? You're just trying to make money here. You're not like, at least with GTA 5 you added grass and shit. Like Red Dead Redemption, you didn't do anything. And yeah, they somehow made GTA 3 worse than the original. I'm like, I'm like, how do you fuck this up? This is your game.
What's up,
And
Boney Ram?
what's up, Boney Ram? Welcome to the stream. We're on the video game section, and I'm going off on Rockstar. So I'm gonna tone that down, and go off on Bungie. What the fuck is Bungie doing? They laid off 100 employees. Okay, fine. Like I'm okay with that. I get it. Businesses need to restructure. I understand that they told people that there weren't going to be layoffs after the Sony acquisition, but they laid off, and I don't understand this. They laid off Michael Salvatore. If that name doesn't ring a bell, I guarantee you've heard some of his music because he created the Halo soundtrack. So
Yeah.
why would you get rid of one of the most iconic composers of all time out of your company?
Yeah, it's weird, dude. And like I looked it up really quick just to make sure, and like Bungie just they've got Marathon in their queue. Like Marathon is one of their new games that they're making. And then also they supposedly have a new IP called Matter that's coming out in 2025.
But guess
But
what? It doesn't matter.
because they've got it all their people. So it's dude. I think this is gonna be one of the situations like the Beyond Good and Evil game. That shit's been in development hell since I was still in diapers. So
Yeah, in fact, did you? Oh, you know what? I put it on here. I must have taken it off. But did you hear about fucking Ubisoft accidentally releasing the remaster of Beyond Good and Evil?
no, what happened?
so, so they weren't ready to reveal it yet. But then suddenly, the 20th remaster of Beyond Good and Evil, instead of I don't know, God forbid, Beyond Good and Evil 2,
Yeah.
popped up on Ubisoft Play. And then Ubisoft was like, "Whoops, yeah, that's supposed to come out next year," and they
Dude,
essentially yanked it and then confirmed it.
I don't know how you accidentally fuck up and ship something like that. Like I'm trying to think of so many ways that like in my job that you could accidentally do that, and just insanity, dude. Just
So
yeah.
it's just a giant red button that says "Do not press," and there's that one guy that presses.
See, if that's the case, it's getting pressed. Like sometimes when you the more you try to make something not happen, the more likely it's going to happen. So it's unfortunate.
You know,
Like each game company has that one big one big button, and it's just like, ooh, press, 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 and every time somebody presses it, it releases a game.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they shouldn't have pre-released the only game that anybody gives a shit about from Ubisoft before mentioning it. Like the only company that can get away with shadow dropping a game is Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo's wild, dude. They'll just be like, "Yo, yeah, this is coming out next week." Casual. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? What? What?" Like, okay. Like they're like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck about marketing our games. You guys will fucking buy it." So
Yeah, it's like you know that that Metroid Prime remake that you've all been wanting. Yeah, that's dropping at 9 tonight. Just
yeah,
just so you know.
that shit's dropping after dinner. Good luck.
It's like nobody else could do that. Ubisoft for sure can't do that. And it's a little depressing that they're working on Beyond Good and Evil 1 and not 2.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
yeah.
fix your
Go
shit.
ahead.
No, I mean that was it. Just fix your shit, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
On
Or they'll just. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, have you guys ever played Siege, like Rainbow Six Siege?
No.
No.
They took what was unique about it, where like, oh, each operator has like a unique skill. Like this guy can breach hard walls, and this person can, turn off electric gadgets and stuff. And they keep doing this thing where they make lesser devices of these bigger devices, and they're just completely like making some operators irrelevant. And like I played it the other night, and I just kept typing in chat like, why the fuck is anyone still playing this game in 2023? Like, what are you guys all doing? Um, they didn't like that,
Have they
but
added a map and peppered it with icons yet?
not yet.
No.
Like, what do you mean icons?
Every Ubisoft game has like a map and then it holds your hand to the next objective. And I know
Oh,
that
yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege is purely online, but I wouldn't put it past them.
They do a pretty good job with callouts though, so I do give them that. Like they put weird shit in their maps, so there'll be like a room with a bull in it, or like a shark hanging from the ceiling. So, but that's kind of like icons.
Oh yeah, no,
So
I mean like they're good at throwbacks. You know, like Far Cry Primal was fantastic.
yes,
But then it was followed by Far Cry 6, which was just essentially a reskin of Far Cry 5 because he did a lot of the other shit that you did the same shit you did in Far Cry 5 and 6, you know?
yeah, man, dude, Far Cry 3, bro.
Far
What
Cry
a
Far Cry 3 was its peak.
yes.
But I would put Far Cry 4 right next to it because I really liked hunting badgers because they're my favorite animal.
Which one's 4? Is that the one that's in with pagan men?
Yeah, where you
Okay,
go to
yeah.
Tibet.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Far Cry 4 was really like just game wise had a lot of gameplay to it.
Far Cry 4, like, it felt like I was in a different realm. You know, I felt like I was isolated from the rest of society. I felt like I was exploring the mountains of Tibet, and I felt like I was having a lot of fun with friends. Far
Yeah.
Cry 5 was cool, but it also felt like I was just playing in the backyard of Montana.
Yeah, the Far Cry 5 was funny because it was like cons. Fucking list was huge. And then pros, Cheeseburger the Bear, and that was about it. So there was an outlet called Cheeseburger the Bear, and you could literally call in a bear to help you. And that was a massive pro for me.
Now, I did have a lot of fun playing with my brother because I'd be like rolling along on a 4x4 with him, and then I'd hop off and throw like a remote mine onto his car. And while he's
Yeah.
driving off, I'd say something like, "They don't know there's a remote mine on his car." And then you'd hear what and see an explosion in the distance as my brother went flying across the map. Like that, those moments were fun.
Yeah, no, the Far Cry 5 was a really good co-op game because of how wacky it was. And Lord of all Door Frames, that is Far Cry 5, where it's like a cult leader.
That was Far Cry 5. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he was he was good, but it felt like Far Cry 5 was a by the numbers. It was like paint within the lines kind
Yeah.
of game, you know? Whereas Far Cry 4, I felt far more went off the beaten path. And Far
Yeah.
Cry 3 was just its own thing. Like,
Well, dude, I think of Voss to this day. Dude, sometimes I just listen to his speeches in my car. Like, and I'm not even kidding. I will look them up on YouTube, especially the one where dude, I can't even repeat it. I'll post it in chat. But yeah.
honestly, the dumbest thing Ubisoft has ever done to date was killing off Voss midway through that and replacing it with white, rich, generic guy number 3.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I remember that being weird.
I'm like, wow, you managed to pull the villain from every 90s fucking kids movie. Thanks. So I'm gonna go a little bit left field here and do a review of a game I started playing. I put down Diablo for a bit because I realized that if I constantly run Duriel, eventually I'll get tired of Diablo before the next season drops, and so I just put it away. And I picked up this little game called Weird West. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. This game is insane. Like it has you start off as this kind of bounty hunter that like her son gets killed and her husband gets dragged off by cannibals. So you have to track down where the cannibals went. And as you go through, you're like exploring the Weird West. And the Weird West is like full of vampires, sirens, ghosts, werewolves, like all this like horror gothic shit, but in a Wild West setting. And I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of fun. And then they have like decent inventory management on top of that. You have allies you can recruit. You have side stories that actually feel like each one of the side quests are meaningful and fun to like read and listen to. You have actual moments of horror mixed in with actual moments of comedy. And this is before you even realize there's 5 other players or 5 other characters to play through. Once you finish the bounty hunter, you switch over to this guy called the Pigman, and now you have to figure out why he's a pigman, like half man, half pig, and that becomes your next quest. And you can actually go back and recruit the bounty hunter from the first run. So it's like there's 5 different stories all interconnected, and the game is on point. It has
Yeah,
now go on.
it's like top down, right?
It's an isometric top-down, kind of like Wastelanders and or Fallout 1 and 2.
Okay.
And I highly, highly, highly recommend it because the writing is good. It's not boring to date for me. When you switch characters, if you go back and recruit the previous character, you can get all your gear back that you had gathered with that person, and have them on your team, like helping you fight across the Wild West. And if they die, they're dead. So you
That's kind of
have
cool.
you have to save often as well, or risk losing like your previous character. You know,
Gotcha.
it's kind of dope. It has over 6 hours of recorded music if you use Spotify. Uh, which I started doing because I couldn't, like, this is literally my one drawback to the game is I couldn't hear the Wild West themes. So I was a little pissed by that. I turned off the music and I put on the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack mixed with some old Western themes, and it's just been stellar since.
Hmm.
So we're gonna do a quick run through of BlizzCon, unless you guys got any questions about that.
Nope.
No.
All right, I didn't pay attention to the entirety of BlizzCon just because I think WoW was heroin for video gamers.
Yes.
And so I just don't touch it. But I paid attention to Overwatch and Diablo. Overwatch looks like it's headed in the right direction. Now, I learned Overwatch supposedly at its peak, and that's when it switched from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2, and that's when Blizzard said, fuck matchmaking, let's just throw everybody up against the Shanghai Dragons. And you can learn how to play this game by getting steamrolled fucking 50,000 times until you learn how to throw a kunai as Kiriko. Have fun. It seems like after a year of just fucking destroying its fan base, Overwatch is finally going, okay, maybe we'll make the matchmaking a little bit more fair. You know? And I'm at a I love the game. I'm gonna continue to play the game because after getting fucking destroyed for like 6 to 9 months straight, I finally learned how to play a few characters and the game became a lot of fun. Um but if they actually successfully pull this off, I can see Overwatch reaching a new level. Especially with the battle pass like choice to choose your own mythic coming into or 2024. I missed Tracer's mythic where she was like the elf chick, and I wanted that. And I was a little pissed that I didn't get to do it, which is entirely my fault because I was hooked on Diablo at the time, which is crack for video gamers.
Yeah,
But
Blizzard really knows how to make crack. That's for sure.
they really know how to push their fucking drugs. Like
Yeah.
they're good at it. And I've kind of like looked at what Blizzard's strategy is, and I think it's just that they're just 100% transparent with everything they do. You know, like say what you will about all the nerfs and buffs and however the fuck they tweak their game, but they do let us know when they're doing it. And then they just take the hits that come. You know, like why are you increasing the cooldown of this hero or why are you charging this for Diablo? Why are you changing this? And of course, it always pisses off the fucking fan base, but as much as I hate fucking taking Blizzard's side, kudos to them for taking them. Like, taking those punches. Honestly. I don't see a lot of video game companies out there releasing patch notes on the daily and then just fucking lubing up with KY jelly.
Yeah, they do a
Yeah.
good job at being transparent, and also like they just like World of Warcraft and Diablo are both just really good. They have a good dopamine cycle. You know, they know how to give you just enough to keep you coming back, but also keep kicking your ass. So
And I think the changes that are coming to Diablo 4 are going to be for the better. Um, some somebody released a survey to some idiot YouTuber named like Belarus or some shit. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not gonna shout him out. I generally hate fucking rage bait YouTubers. Because I'm not gonna do that. I'm never gonna downplay a company for likes or views or money, guys. I'm gonna give you the facts straight as they are. And this guy essentially took a survey from one of his like viewers and then passed it off as fact and then blew up the internet with it. Only to have the developers come out and be like, guys, we never released that. That's not us. We're not doing that.
Damn.
You know? And it's like, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But if you've heard anything about that survey, it's bullshit. The Diablo expansion is not priced yet. It could be anywhere between 40 to 100. And I've played a lot of Blizzard games over the years. If they charge you $100 and they include a pet, everyone's going to get a pet. You're just going to get an exclusive pet that looks a little cooler. Chances are, if they do a pricing structure, I bet you anything the expansion is going to run anywhere between 40 to 100, and it could just have varying degrees of like cosmetics that you would get.
Pet.
All I've
You're not
wanted
wrong though.
is Diablo pets, but I mean, like, honestly, if they make Blizzard game with pets, everyone's going to get the same starting pet.
Yeah, dude. There's so much shit on the screen already.
But I don't know. The expansion looks cool. It takes us back to Karast from Diablo 2, which has a special place in my heart because I like knocking down the pygmies in there. And one thing when I was running around Diablo 4, I was like, where are all the pygmies at? I want to like throw firebolts at them and shit. Because I thought they were gonna show up in the swamp level, but then they didn't. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with this expansion. Uh, Spoiler alert: Mephisto is the main bad guy. Anybody that's completed the Diablo campaign could tell that right away. It's not that hard. It's like right there laid out for you. A girl runs off with Mephisto, or Crystal, thinking that she's going to keep it safe. We all know how that ends because that happens in every single freaking Diablo game, and nobody ever seems to learn that messing with the primevals tends to get you fucked.
But
And
this time it'll be different.
This time it'll be different though.
I swear, it'll be different this time.
Because it's in 4K.
Exactly.
And that ends my section. Guys, next month, or this month actually, ironically, because we're in December, we're going to be coming back with the Video Game Awards, and that'll pretty much be the entire podcast, I think. We'll be discussing the results of them, as well as giving our own takes on it, and who we think should have won the video game.
Yep.
Tears of the Kingdom. Go on.
Sure, totally.
Turning it over to Micah and his section.
Okay, well, this time I actually also have a slideshow because I like to be cool that way.
Okay.
Wait, you have a slideshow?
Yep.
I'm the
I
only
do
one
have a
without a
slideshow.
slideshow? This is fucking bullshit.
Okay. So my first movie was The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. From what I've seen, not gonna lie, it looks amazing. Like it looks, I don't know what about it, but like small little scenes that I come across just give me chills.
I
Like,
imagine some people get hungry and then they play games.
sure,
Because
totally.
they're just hungry.
And like it also seems like it connects really well. Like from somebody I've heard that somebody watches it, they say the way they did it made it so it could have just ended there, or if they wanted to make a second one, they could. That's how open, like that's how like it's like what? Because they probably wanted to see how good the movie went, and it did pretty well. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Didn't it
working at.
blow away like every other movie at the box office,
Yeah, pretty much.
including like the Marvels and Ish and all that came out?
I'll get to the Marvels later. But yeah, it did blow like everybody once. Like even my mom, I told her I was like, "Hey, yeah." She's like, "Wait, you didn't tell me there was a Hunger Games coming out?" I'm like, "I told you like a while ago, but yeah."
I mean, you
And
work
then,
in the movie theater.
yeah, she's like, "Okay, well, we gotta go at some point." So hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to actually see it and give more of a overview of it. But so far, from what I've seen, it seems like a great movie. Now, my next one is Wish. I'm not gonna lie, Disney like did actually really great with this movie. Like,
Okay.
cause like the goat in the picture you see talks. Funniest thing ever because the goat like little star at the end puts like wishing powder over the goat, and the goat talks in the most deepest voice possible, and it's awesome. And he's like, "I did not think my voice would be this low."
So would you how many thumbs up would you give this movie out of 5?
Out of 5, I'd say a 4. I'm
4?
not gonna lie. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
the way the way they did most of the movie was like basically it's like it puts like the whole thing to like kind of like imagination. The main character, she's great. She does have like the princess aspect to her, but she's not actually a princess. But the thing that impressed me the most was the Easter eggs. Like most everywhere you look, like most small details even, if you looked close enough, you'd be like, "Wait a minute, I know that." It's like, wow. Because like there's a scene with there's like a whole musical section before this, but once they're done, all the animals are parting. And John, like there's a bear called John from Robin Hood, and a deer that's Bambi. And he's like, "Thanks for not eating me, John." He's like, "No problem, Bambi." It's like, oh my gosh, like if you've seen Bambi, it's like, and like Robin Hood, it's like, wow. And like,
Now, Lord of all Doorframe says they kind of ran out of ideas for a villain though. It's
what?
literally just a king thinking logically. What's your take on that?
Pretty much, he's the villain. His whole goal is to protect his kingdom and then not be overthrown. And I also kind of just messed up on the slides, but he like I do agree. He was trying to think logically until like the very end where he just completely went nuts over power. Because like his whole goal was to keep his kingdom in check by holding wishes of other people. Like he would take their wishes and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll grant you this later on." Yada yada yada. And then gets to the point where the star comes in. He's like, "Oh shoot, somebody's trying to take over. I gotta deal with this." Does it, and then he starts going like closer and closer to insanity, where he's like, "Shoot, shoot, shoot," and then he crushes one of the wishes. Well, he actually crushes the main character's mom's wish, and it gives him more power. Where he's just like, "Okay," and then he gets to this like evil book, and then he makes a staff, and then he just goes ballistic.
All right, you know what is up with Disney and its sympathetic villains? Like it worked with Thanos, but after Thanos, it seems like every single villain in a Disney movie is like, I'm villainous, but also I'm doing it to save my mom who's dying of cancer. It's like, why?
Well,
Give
so
me
like
a Maleficent.
this whole villain, he's like he doesn't entirely start out as a villain until you fully see what his motives are and how he's trying to control his kingdom fully. Because like he's like by meaning control, he's like trying to forcefully control them. He thinks he's doing good because he's like, oh yeah, my parents died because of this. I actually never mind. I see where you're getting at this point.
That's what I mean. It's like every villain has to have some kind of bullshit sympathetic angle. Whatever happened to our Jafars? What happened to our Maleficents?
Yeah, dude.
Like the
Bad
ones
people.
that just evil for the sake of being evil.
Fair enough.
But sorry, I don't
Oh,
mean to
you're good.
hijack
No, it's
portion.
perfectly fine. Now looking at that, I guess yeah, he pretty much does start out sympathetic until he starts going ballistic because of power. But he like my main thing is the Easter eggs in this movie are just impressive because like you'll just see random things like the biggest one I've seen so far is Peter Pan and Wendy because like it shows a little clip of one of the wishes wanting a girl to fly. Basically looks like it's Wendy, and then at the end the queen, the main character leads up what the girl that looks like Wendy up to the queen, and she's like, "So your dream wanted to be to fly?" And the queen's like, "Oh, cool, my friend Peter over here," and it's literally a kid that looks like Peter Pan. She's like, "Yeah, he's trying to figure out an invention of how to fly." It's like, oh,
Gotta snort that fairy dust, man.
Do you think it's deeper? Like, are they gonna try to like multiverse that shit or something?
no, I don't think so. It just seemed like it was basically just the like they kind of it looked like they made the Disney franchise a wish like in this movie, just like all the characters wishing for something. Like even the animals, like the whole song that the animals sing, which is another Easter egg indicated to a different movie, is that they're like, "Oh, hey," and then they go and like the whole like they go sciencey at some point with the Big Bang and whatever. But
Oh,
nah, and
Okay,
then yeah,
I'll
so
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it on Disney. When is it coming out in Disney Plus?
I have no idea. It recently came out, but
Okay.
it if you really like older movies and you're able like to identify Easter eggs, it's definitely worth the watch.
Oh, I can identify Disney Easter eggs. I can sing 90% of the Disney catalog from like the 2000s and below.
Do it. No I'm joking.
I'm pretty sure that's called copyright infringement on stream.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's and then like so like my second thing, the end credits, they show so many images of older characters. Like you'll see Robin Hood, Fox and the Hound, Bambi, the
Huh.
original Ariel, Bolt, all of that. It's like,
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
Original
and like
Ariel? Oh yeah.
yeah, like the original Ariel.
She's a mega babe.
Yeah, like but like it's not like you don't see the full pictures of them. They're actually like made out of stars, so it's like an outline of them. But, like, it just, like that's what mainly got me into this movie at first was because of that. Because while ushering theaters, I just went straight to the thing and watched the end, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
July 8th? 6 months from now?
Dude, July 8th is so
What?
far.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I It's the modern era, and maybe they're trying to kick it back to like the old times. But what the fuck? July 8th?
Yeah, great. Glad that we're gonna have to wait that long. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. Well, actually, no. First, don't trust the blue popcorn at Regal theaters. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It tastes amazing. I was just eating it.
Is that like blue waffle?
No, it's basically it's a blue caramel corn and it's really good. It's just you basically look like you ate a glitter bomb after it.
Mm.
Look,
So I probably look like I ate a glitter bomb because I was just eating it because I was really hungry.
Mike
But
has still got like that wide-eyed, doughy look of the world. Let's not introduce him to blue waffles until he's jaded.
Oh,
hold on, I'm
okay.
gonna switch that up on my school computer real quick.
Is there
Yeah,
an acceptable age for blue waffle? My bad.
you're probably like 30.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we'll move on. Let's see. And then my next thing is Deadpool 3. It's actually supposedly it's going to be the only Marvel movie coming out in 2024 other than the Sony verse, which is
Dude,
kind of shocking.
that's
So
hard to believe, dude. How are they gonna make how are they how are they gonna make money if they don't release 72 films
I
it's
in
love.
going to
one
be
year?
most of the series that's going to happen throughout 2024. So I think that's what they're kind of hoping for is the
I also,
series will kick it off.
I also like how you just skirted past the Sony verse. Like, come on, is that's not part of the MCU? I mean,
Oh, it kind of is. It's just
Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man in it? Interesting.
yeah, I totally woke up one morning and went, I want to watch a movie about
Yeah.
Morbius
I really want to watch a movie about Kraven the Hunter. That's what
without
I've been waiting for.
without hunting Spider-Man.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm being a piece of shit.
No, you're good. It's
I'm
just
being
the
a piece of shit. I'm
Sonyverse
sorry.
has kind of fallen a little bit. I mean, there's a couple things that might actually be good, but like it's like that's why I skirted around it. And then as
It's
you can see, there's a little dog at the bottom of the slideshow, and supposedly that's supposed to be the Deadpool dog. Like that's the actual photo. So we're also gonna get Deadpool dog in the movie.
well, I
Yeah, it
mean,
looks just like him. So
let's be real for a second. After fucking what's that one that released that was like decent? Either way,
what?
this is the only Marvel movie that really matters anyways. Like 2024 doesn't need anything else. It has Deadpool hanging out with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Exactly.
That's good enough for me.
Dude, Hugh
Oh,
Jackman's a
excellent.
fucking babe, bro.
Dude, Hugh Jackman has it going on.
We were
And
watching Real Steel today, and I was like, I just want to kiss that man. Mwah!
so is that like I'd go gay for that dude for you?
Dude, it's not even gay. It's Hugh Jackman, bro. I mean,
That's
that's
true.
a beautiful man.
I do like the fact that he's donning the claws again. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. It's like the original suit. Look at that thing, dude.
Well, the funny thing is, if you look at his Instagram profile, like several videos, like he recently said happy birthday to a kid, but you could tell because he had the beard and the hair shape of Wolverine that he was still filming it or
fuck yes.
coming from it.
Yeah.
So it was like, yes.
If MCU ever tries to replace Hugh Jackman's Wolverine with anything less than X-23, I will stop watching it. If they're like, this fucking guy is a new Wolverine, it's like, well, I guess the MCU decided to fuck right off because
Did you see how they were possibly gonna do Harry Potter as the next Wolverine for the multiverse type thing?
What, Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's gonna be a negative. I'd rather have Danny DeVito as Wolverine. That would make more sense, honestly. Like it actually, comically wise, would make more sense. He's a short, angry guy. So
The
you know,
multiverse of Wolverine, Danny DeVito.
yeah,
Grr.
Pretty much Danny DeVito is the only Wolverine I would accept.
Also,
yep.
I did recently figure this out because I'm doing a project on it. Well, let's hope Ryan Reynolds figures out a way to improvise because supposedly because of the writer's strike, he was like he's being supposedly I'm doing finger quotes. Supposedly being prevented from doing improv and I'm in the Deadpool movie. So let's hope he figures out a way to actually not like be able to actually improv it.
Well, look, I mean, say what you will about Ryan Reynolds, but that dude is Deadpool. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
I
this
mean,
series exists because of him.
no, 100%. Like, the whole reason Deadpool is there is because he pushed for it, and then when they kept saying no, he just released the footage to the internet.
yeah, dude. I remember that. And it was
Yeah.
fucking, and everyone was like, "This is the fucking best," and they were like, "Oh
I'm not
wow, what a surprise!
I'm not
People want
saying
this."
it or well, I'm not saying anything against Ryan Reynolds. I'm just saying because the writer's strike is because he actually joined the thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's like because the whole new agreement that he's being slightly like stopped. I'm guessing he's not. He's gonna keep pushing for him to do it. I'm pretty sure Deadpool's pretty much filmed by now, so it wouldn't entirely matter.
Oh yeah, dude, he's not. It's going to be written in some way because
Yeah,
like when he did the writer's strike is officially over, by the way.
yeah,
Lord of all door frames. That has ended and we will be getting TV shows again. Right now, we're going to see a little bit of a dip where stuff that should have been written and released is not being released. But then it'll come back out. Kind of like how COVID affected the video game industry. It's all going to come out like
I mean
basically at once.
that's also kind of why like my section is gonna be a little bit long, is because once the writer's strike ended, things just kept dropping over and over again on my feed, and I'm like, okay, calm down.
But he's the genius of improvisation
Yeah,
when it doesn't even need to occur. Like the entire in the first movie, originally they had like this whole big blowout at the end with like guns and Deadpool and like shooting everybody. But the studio had so little faith in that movie doing anything or going anywhere that they cut its budget so they couldn't afford that gunfight. And that's why Deadpool left his guns in Dopender's fucking uh, taxi cab,
I remember that. That's
which led to the whole like his taxi cab getting rear-ended and Dopender ending up with a dead body and a bag full of guns in his fucking taxi cab. It's like he worked around that, so I think he could work around this.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So,
Yeah, they'll probably pick fun at it, to be honest.
okay, now I'm gonna move on to our newest big type family movie, Migration. I'm just not. I probably won't go deep into it because it hasn't released yet. It's releasing, I believe, on Christmas Day. Shockingly enough, but it does look funny. It's about like a family of ducks that are migrating, but they end up hitting New York.
Yeah, instead of going south.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Oh.
pretty good. I'm actually, I'm not gonna go to the theaters and see it, but when it, I mean, I don't have a lot of time. I haven't seen a lot, so
Yeah.
like, but it does look good. I'm excited to see it drop on like Disney Plus,
Well,
or some other streaming platform.
I think it's made by Illumination, so I mean, Kenny might have opinions about that,
God
but
damn it.
Oh, so the minions are gonna be there.
That's
yeah,
fucking
pretty much.
it's X-Nate in my book already.
Well, like, so my favorite characters in this entire movie is the grandpa who doesn't want to do anything and is forced by the little girl. He's just like, no, I'm not going. I'd rather die here. The girl's like, please. And then, like, throughout the trailer, I believe he's just like, yeah, we're going to die. We're going to
Yeah,
die.
dude,
Yep.
they would going to New York. Someone would probably eat them.
I
Well, the
bet
funny
it's
thing is,
gonna have
actually,
a wacky character that goes over the top, a slow motion animation of a character flying through the air with a mouth agape and tongue hanging out. And they're gonna do that a couple times throughout the film.
totally not one with the dad duck. But the fun,
Is it?
because,
Oh, go ahead.
okay, but with the thing with, speaking of eating them, they run into a pigeon who's just showing them around New York. And this pigeon just looks dead. It should be dead. It's just like, yeah. And it gets hit by like several buses and bikes and all that. But uh, they were sitting in a windowsill, and there's a chef that's like cooking stuff, and they reveal like a duck, and they're like, "What is that?" It's like It's Duck on Shalon.
I hate the minions, to answer your question. I hate them with a fucking passion. Lord of all
Yeah.
Doorframes asks, what did Illumination do? They introduced the minions to the world, and thereby lowered the general IQ of the entire populace of the Earth by like 5 points. But go on.
Yeah, but then what were you gonna say, Jordan?
I think the pigeon's played by none other than oh my god, what is her name? What is her name? She's in Shang-Chi. She's the she's like his best friend or whatever. Oh my god, what is her name? She's annoying. That's she also plays as the bird in the new Little Mermaid.
She'd
What
be
is
perfect for an Illumination film.
Yeah, I'm looking it up really quick.
Aquafania.
Aquafina. Yeah, Aquafina. It's Aquafina. So yeah, so she is gonna be perfect. So
And she played Raya in like the dragon and Raya in the Last Dragon.
yeah. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't find her very funny, but I'm not exactly their demographic, so
Yeah. Then there's also the creepy old stork. Because in one of the trailers, she's like, they ask, "Are you sure you're not gonna eat us?" And she's like, "Nah, maybe, possibly." It's like, okay. Oh
Do you
yeah,
know?
and then
Do you know who's making the Legend of Zelda film?
no, I do
Okay,
not.
I'll have to research that.
Illumination.
God, no, no.
No, it's Disney. Don't worry.
I mean, I hope it's Disney. Disney would do a better job than Illumination with Legend of Zelda.
No, what would do an amazing job with making if it was an animation film would be DreamWorks.
DreamWorks could pull off Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. They dropped the bomb with that one.
Yeah. I mean, they killed it with Puss in Boots 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon series, still one of the most impressive things. I don't know if you've seen Rise of the Guardians. If you haven't, watch it. It's amazing.
The only reason Rise of the Guardians is okay, but the only reason anyone talks about Rise of the Guardians is because a bunch of people just want to fuck Jack Frost. So
Well, I like it because they made Santa like crazy awesome, where he's just buff and he's like, oh yeah, and then the Easter Bunny and him like to duke it off.
Hold on, I'm
lore
looking up
accurate
Rise
Santa.
of the Guardians. Who made this?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks? Let me look up.
The Minions. Oh.
Okay, I see what you mean. Go on.
Yep. Oh, and then another funny thing is for Rise of the Guardians, they actually made the Easter Bunny Australian.
I think that's accurate. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
but yeah.
actually, he originates from Australia.
like half of the movie he's threatening Jack Frost. He's like, I'm like
Is the Easter Bunny actually from Australia?
I don't know. I'm just making shit up at
I
this
was
point.
about to say, source. I made it the fuck up.
This isn't Crook and Murder. I don't have to research this.
Again, then for my next topic, Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. I might watch this just because the trailer does seem cool, and I like how. I mean, it's kind of just yeah, but like Manta, I'm not gonna lie, I do love how they pulled off Manta in the trailer, where he doesn't even care. He's just destroying everything, rising the dead, saying, "Ha, I'm gonna kill Aquaman. I'm gonna ruin his life. Screw this guy."
So why he just set his bar incredibly low? I'm gonna kill the easiest person on the Justice League.
The
Pretty
guy who
much.
talks to fish.
Pretty
He's
much, but then he has the black trident, which just like worries everybody. He's like, "Oh yeah, he has the black trident." And then the brother of Aquaman from the first movie is just like, "Yeah, no, we're screwed. I don't know why you dragged me into this. It's your problem."
Yeah, I don't. I kind of don't watch DC films, so I'm not about to start for Aquaman, that's for sure. But but
Yo,
no.
we just got the origin story of the Easter Bunny.
We
Lord of
did?
Old Door Frames, Bede 673 to 735 AD. An Anglo-Saxon deity named Easter was accompanied by a rabbit because she represented the rejuvenation and fertility of springtime.
Okay.
Okay, so it's another pagan ritual that the Christians ripped off.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not gonna stay on Aquaman too long because I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's Aquaman. No, go ahead.
Then my next thing is Loki. I don't know. I don't even remember if I talked about this fully, but like, it dropped the bomb. It was great. I loved it. And then everybody's analogy of it is it's basically carrying the Marvel universe right now. Probably gonna carry it for a while.
This this raises so many questions, and I mean that in a good way. And like, first and foremost is Tom Hiddleston coming back. Like, he's the Loki of Tales at this point, or the Loki of Stories, I think it's called. The other thing is like, if he has that much control over the multiverse, could he stop Kang at any time? Could he even want to stop King? Like, maybe he sees the ending and goes, if I intervene and stop him, things would end up worse. Like, maybe he has seated himself there as almost a watcher over the entire multiverse of the God. This is mind bending. Sorry, I loved Loki's
Oh,
ending.
that's perfectly fine. This was amazing.
Does he bang
Like he,
himself?
No,
I wish.
unfortunately, they never answered
Oh,
that question, Disney.
damn. Unfortunate.
But like he, like Tom Hiddleston did amazing. And yes, there is a lot of questions. And yes, like what is gonna come of the future of this, especially when the TVA's the way it ended, the TVA's mentioning how they're trying to kill all the Kangs. And they actually mention how Ant-Man did it, like how Ant-Man was just like kicked him into a portal and just, they were like, "Yeah, we got one." It was so bad. And it's like, because if you're a big Marvel fan, I'm guessing that's why Kenny's snickering is because like you got one Kang, only one.
Also, how did fucking Ant-Man kill King?
Exactly.
This comes back to like my biggest problem with Ant-Man Quantumania. Ant-Man shouldn't be able to beat your next big bad.
Actually, if you think about it, it wasn't Ant-Man, it was Wasp.
Or Wasp, or anybody that's not like Thor or Hulk or any of the like much bigger, stronger names. If Ant-Man and Wasp took on King, it's like, God, I don't know. Disney really
Well,
shot itself in the foot with that film.
here's what I like to think about it. Is it's the multiverse. Sure, Kang is a very powerful character, but what if because Ant-Man defeated it, that was like the weakest Kang, like smallest, little dumbest little Kang. And then Ant-Man sees the other one and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be easy. Dead." He's dead.
Yeah, he was
It's just like,
probably the
"Ah,
king
damn."
that got picked on in King High School, and all the other kings were like, "Oh, look at this nerd."
Yeah, this
Like
guy sucks.
like if you think about it, even like uh Timothy, that Kang was like a lot more power. I would say he's a lot more powerful than what the Kang was in uh Ant-Man and Wasp.
What, the one from Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking about the one that sat in the chair that entire time. It was just like, "Huh, Loki, I see. I bet you. I'm just saying this isn't the only conversation we had." And Loki just pulled out the stunt where it's just like, "Yeah, and this wasn't the only conversation we've had lately." It's like,
No, I think that was the most powerful king in that entire series. I think
yeah,
what they were trying to say with that point where he freeze framed fucking Sylvia from killing him was essentially, hey, I've been in control the entire time.
yeah,
And he like pulled back the curtain. He's just like, "What? You're a little engineer down there on the planet that he kind of fooled around with. Yeah, I let that happen. And part of me is like wondering, he's like, I mean, Loki's ascended, so he's not really even a player on the board at this point. But like King, that scene was pivotal because it showed that like every action that they took against King was mostly fruitless up to that point.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm also meaning like I know this might be a little bit hated, but I'm also talking about the engineer Kang he's talking about, Timothy.
Oh yeah.
He was a lot better than the Ant-Man and the Wasp Kang.
Yeah, because the Ant-Man and the Wasp King, all he did was like throw a temper tantrum, build a kingdom,
Yeah,
and then get
that's what I'm
defeated by
saying.
ants.
Timothy would be a lot more powerful than that one because all you complain about it.
Dude, big ants though. Let's be real.
Well, okay,
Regard.
they were huge ants.
They weren't just big ants. They were huge ants.
No,
Godzilla-sized ants.
But
they
it's
were big
freaking
ants.
King. King has power armor from the year 4000. He can take a hit from any single one of the Avengers at
No,
any
no,
given
no, no, no.
moment and shake it off.
No, you got to think about it. It's very large ants with slightly smaller, slightly bigger brain.
Oh, okay, that changes everything right there.
Boom.
Yeah, but now here comes like the big decision because of Loki that it's thrown everything off for entire Marvel universes. Are they going to keep Kang or are they switching to Doctor Doom? Because
Ugh.
like it's weird because they already set like the movie titles, which I'm guessing they're probably hopefully gonna keep Kang.
Well, Disney's
But
got like this tiny little problem called real world events that is currently going on that may or may not determine how King plays out.
yeah,
Ironically, the only thing that's defeating King right now is King.
exactly. But
That's very well put.
Unless it's all part of Disney's marketing strategy.
okay, well I'm gonna move on. So here's a recent update. It's Fantastic Four, but there's been rumors. Like actually, I think it might have been confirmed. Maybe small chance, but Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Kind of just wanted your opinions on it. I like the idea, just because I think he would fit. But
Pedro's dope. Sure.
I mean,
Like,
Pedro, he's good in anything.
yeah, he's a really
yeah,
good actor, so I think he's gonna be fine. I kind of like John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, but I mean, really, like any great actor will do. Yo, I want
yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio as my Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. Have you guys
and
seen
then,
the post where it's a joke post that it's just the cast of Always Sunny as the Fantastic Four?
Jesus Christ, I'd watch that film in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what? Who's playing who? I mean, obviously D is Sue Storm.
I think Rob McCollum is Mr. Fantastic, and then uh Charlie is the fire one. I'm sorry that I don't know.
The fire.
uh and
what about
then uh and then what's his name is the thing.
Danny
is it the guy?
DeVito.
No, actually not Danny DeVito.
I was about to ask, who is Danny
The
DeVito?
super
But I'm
buff
guessing
guy.
is it
What?
the guy that plays
What's his
Luigi?
name?
Who's Danny DeVito?
No, I was saying like who is Danny DeVito for it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because you got to have Danny DeVito in it.
Charlie Day is the guy that plays Luigi.
Yeah,
And he would actually make a pretty interesting. God damn it, I don't know his name now.
thing.
No, Thing, Sue Storm, Mr. Fantastic, and some other person that, whatever. There's a huge Fantastic Four fan base out there. I only care about Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want to carry on.
Then I believe I'm able to show a clip, right, from YouTube, or no?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, I'd actually have to search it up, so probably gonna start creating after I show this, and then I'll stream it again. My second thing is first look of Sonic Prime 2 actually looks amazing. Like, cause so far I don't know if you guys have seen the series, but I've enjoyed it so far. And like the whole plot twist season 2 gave was that Nine, which is an alternate universe of Tails, heard Sonic wrong and was like, "Oh shoot, you're trying to get rid of me. Screw you." Takes all of the shards and just completely screws Sonic and Shadow. And they're like, "Okay, great. This is nice." And it just ends right there. It's like I love it. I love the series because you get a mix of between Sonic and Shadow, like throughout the entire series. Because half time through season 1, you'd see Shadow randomly appear in like a vision of Sonic's, and he's like, "Sonic, you gotta run faster! You gotta run faster!" And then it disappears after Sonic gets hit by something.
What's your take on Sonic Prime?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying it. Like, it's a good animation. It's got a lot of good fight scenes. I mean, sure, the Eggmen are kind of annoying, especially the baby one and the emo one and the samurai one, but like it's got a pretty good it's got a good story cuz like it starts out with normal Green Hills, and then they meet up with Eggman, and then Sonic destroys this giant crystal that's holding the multiverse together supposedly. Then it shatters, creating like several different versions of his friends, and then his speed messes with it. Same with the crystals, where he'll travel between different ones. Like, my favorite world is the pirate world, where he has to deal with Knuckles as a pirate captain, who absolutely just like Knuckles as a pirate captain starts out, "Oh, I'm friendly, cool, yeah, I'm scared of things," and then he like gets his eye on a crystal, and he's like, "Ha!" and then just completely screws over Sonic. He's just like, "Nah, you're dead. I don't care."
You know, I'd
But
actually watch that.
yeah, well, like, because the thing with you know how Sonic's scared of water, right?
Yeah.
This
He
entire
is.
world is water.
I'm scared of water because of Sonic. I mean, chemical fucking zone. What was it again?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is his weakness. Um, if it's not Sonic Adventure Battle 2 though, I'm out. No, I'm just
Sonic
kidding.
Adventure.
Dude, the fact that you have not played Sonic Adventure Battle 2, Micah, is like that is the best Sonic game to ever exist. I would physically fight somebody for it, like 100%.
Also,
Okay.
It's
did
just
you ever? No, go on.
no,
Finish that.
that was it.
Did you ever watch like the '90s Sonic or shows?
Yeah, I did. I did watch. I actually watched it a couple years ago. Um,
On what?
Yeah.
it was on Netflix.
Is it still on Netflix?
I think so.
Because they had two running simultaneously. One was like,
Yeah, the funny one and then the serious one.
yeah, like the fucking futuristic serious one where like people were dying and shit. It
Yeah.
was like insane. Wait, so Michael, what's going on with your stream?
Oh, I'm switching it to share the screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm
What
gonna
are you
show
showing us?
the video that like the fight scene with Sonic and Shadow. Like, this is a little clip from series 2, which is like
Does Shadow
I
have a
love it.
deagle?
What?
Nothing. It's all good.
Yeah.
This isn't
But
you,
yeah, so
Nine.
far this
We're
is what it is.
friends. We can still figure out how to bring back Green Hill and stabilize the Shatter Spaces together.
You were only using me to get what you wanted!
That's not true.
Sorry, old friend. You've been replaced.
Whoa. Who or what is that?
It's you.
Yeah, but if you squint and tilt your head to the side, it's also kind of you.
Whatever it is, it's in our way.
Not for long. Again? I already beat one of these things. In New York, remember?
I saved you from the one in New York. This time, you're on your own.
He's not on his own.
Tails is British.
Kind of, yeah.
We're all
I think
on our
maybe.
own.
Wow, I didn't even catch that. Kind of like literally beating the living shit out of that thing.
Yeah, it's like
It's over, 9.
I love it. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys would ever entirely watch it, but like I'm enjoying the series. Kind of glad that it's more of like it's more kind of just hanging out in there.
It's
know-
very interesting to see Sonic and Shadow like actually throwing punches when I'm so used to them just being a ball and hitting things.
You know what that reminded me of? I just had like a flashback to high school where the teacher would come in like hungover, and just, like we're watching a movie, guys. Here's Jaws.
That's funny.
Yeah, well,
But yeah,
so what do you got next for us, brother?
for the next one, I have for this next topic would be another Sonic thing, and that's Sonic 3. We got our first picture, and involves it shows our first look of what Shadow's gonna look like in the movie, or at least his feet. But but it's supposed to come out next. It's coming out next year, but I'm like,
Haven't they fully shown Shadow? I swear to God,
Not
I saw
really.
a picture of him the other day, like looking down with fists clenched.
Oh, maybe, but I mean that's the only photo I've seen so far of him. But I'm kind of excited because I mean they're hitting it well. Hopefully they do well. Cause I enjoyed the first two. I don't know about you guys. The only thing that's gonna suck is we're not gonna get Jim Carrey as Eggman, or
So,
maybe we will.
are
But
they
he
cutting
retired.
Eggman out entirely?
I have no idea because with Jim Carrey supposedly signed off his like he's doing not filming any movies anymore. So he did that right after Sonic 2. So I have no idea.
I think Jim Carrey just needs to step away from the line. Like, I love Jim Carrey, but the more and more in it seems, the more and more washed up he is. It's
Yeah.
like your star burned brightly, it's done its time, live off your royalty, you know? Unfortunately, like the world has moved on from that type of comedy because it's way different from like the 90s movie, Ace Ventura or fucking even 90s
Yeah,
SNL, you know?
Dumb and
yeah.
Dumber.
Slapstick comedy's kind of out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of sad to see it happen because I remember growing up watching Jim Carrey films, and I almost want to like I'm glad that he's just stepping away. He should stay away.
Yeah. That's why I like how this newer movie they're gonna make Shadow more of the villain.
Dude,
So
is any of the shows even about the Chaos Emeralds anymore? Or movies?
the funny thing is, actually in the series, okay, I just remembered this. Well, Shadow actually got pulled because when Sonic created the big boom that separated all the worlds and
Sonic
Sonic
created the
Prime.
big boom.
Yeah, he basically just ran into a crystal and separated a bunch of worlds. Shadow got dragged into it while trying to stop Sonic, supposedly, and he had the Chaos Emerald, but when he got sucked into this empty area with just a bunch of like shards floating around, which that's how he communicated with Sonic halfway, like throughout the multiverse for a bit until he actually stopped Sonic from traveling across worlds. He lost the Chaos Emerald to the Void. It was
Jesus
mentioned, but
Christ.
he was like, "Oh crud, I gotta try to get that back." But then it kind of just fell farther and farther, and he couldn't reach it.
Hmm.
It was like,
Alright.
"Oh great."
What does Super Saiyan Shadow look like?
He's silver.
He's silver?
Yeah, he does that in Sonic Adventure Battle too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
to
it's
be
fucking sick.
confused
When
with
they fight
Silver the
the
Hedgehog.
omnipotent turtle at the end of the game.
I also think a couple series have actually made him gold, kind of like Sonic, just with a red line in his hair.
Okay.
Interesting.
But that's at least what I've seen. I've seen pictures of, but I think you know what, the silver would be a lot cooler. So, okay, and then I'm gonna move on to all people who love bears, not to get confused with Paddington, but Ted. Ted
Paddington
has
3. Fuck. Wait, so
what?
is Mark Wahlberg returning for this?
Sadly, no.
I'm out.
It's gonna be what Ted's series is gonna be is basically Ted and whoever Mark Wahlberg's character was in high school. So it's gonna be like a younger version of it. So far, it looks funny because you still got the comedy that Ted brought in the first movie and the second movie. Like, there's one point where he's actually trying to convince Mark Wahlberg's character's mom, I don't know, remember what the character's name is, to swear when she's like, I guess supposedly she's full Christian, I guess, I don't know. But he's like, you should just swear, you should just swear. And then he like, it's like a whole bet. But then supposedly, they're like, oh yeah, you should take Ted to school just so he can experience what high school's like. So he goes to school and then then supposedly he actually tries to get expelled too.
Hmm.
But no, I guess for me it
Do you-
looked interesting. I
Do
don't
you know
know.
when it's slated for release?
I do not remember. No.
And what? It's gonna be Paramount, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Peacock.
or Peacock. Yeah.
January 11th. So
Yeah. So
Does anybody have Peacock?
no.
I do.
Oh, Micah. That's it. He's the only person with Peacock in the world.
I only did it to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've actually never used it ever since.
Good show.
Isn't that on Hulu?
It might
Yeah, it might be. But I don't wait. No, I think last time I checked, it only had like a couple seasons though.
I think
Not
I
like
had
the full.
Peacock for like a month. I don't know. Like, I feel like Peacock is trying too hard to be HBO. You know,
It's got nothing on it
yeah, it's got nothing on it.
except for Shrek. That's like the only place you can find Shrek.
be. Correct.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
hear
like the-
about
What?
PlayStation removing some of its digital movies?
Really?
Oh, really? Were
That
people
people have,
upset?
yeah, oh, people are pissed. And Sony is just like, well, look at the terms of service. Basically, any digital movie you buy, take note of this, people. Any digital movie you buy, you're buying the lease for that movie. And they have the right to rip it from you at any time. So if you want
Always
to,
read terms and agreements.
so if you want to buy something that like you can hold on to and lay claim to, Blu-ray's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even that's getting phased out because the consoles, like AKA the almost home entertainment system that most people have nowadays, are trying to go discless. So it's like we're all being forced into a digital future where we don't really even own anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be weird.
Food for thought.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna move on to my next one, which I've always been confused about this one because I've seen it everywhere. Seems like it's gonna be popular so far. I don't exactly know. It's called Godzilla -1. I have no idea why.
So it just
Okay.
has no Godzilla in it.
No, it has Godzilla. It's just like I don't understand the point of the movie. Like, because especially when I used to have it on the list, but I removed it. But there's Godzilla X Kong, uh, the new the or New Empire or something like that. But because supposedly there was a trailer for that one, but yeah, I don't understand the hype for this one. So far, I've seen it everywhere though. So
Yeah, it's just another Godzilla movie. Godzilla's weird because they'll just like change something or they'll do like a different version of Godzilla and then people will go ape shit about it. People with kaijus are nuts, man. Like it's a crazy thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like Microsoft, just changing Windows.
Exactly.
It's like maybe every 10 years something big will happen, but then it's the same, just little tweaks. I feel like
Yeah.
ever since I saw like the 1990s Godzilla film, I've seen every Godzilla film that came out after that.
Yeah. Well, Godzilla's dude, it's kind of nuts. There's a Godzilla, like I think it's Shin Godzilla, where like it's a lot more realistic, where it's just a stupid looking monster, and its blood actually like is radioactive and ruins parts of the city and like causes cancer, and it's like horrifying. It's more of like a horror film than anything.
That sounds
And
fucking sick.
yeah, and it has like babies too. Yeah, it is Shin Godzilla. I just looked it up, and it's like really fucked up. But check it out. Check it out. Godzilla.
okay,
The Godzilla went back to its horror roots when people used to be afraid of Godzilla.
Yeah, instead of being like, oh, he's gonna save us from the monkey.
Yeah, this time it has Bryan Cranston in it. It's like, I mean, that's really the only differences. The last movie that I honestly, like, truthfully cared about, and this is barring Pacific Rim because I haven't seen those, though I really should. That had giant like monsters in it was Peter Jackson's King Kong because he nailed it. Like that was it. But I don't know. I went and saw the Bryan Cranston Godzilla. I wasn't that impressed.
mhm.
Yeah, it's all right. Very mediocre.
Okay, my next one is Wonka. Not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of interested because I loved Willy Wonka, like in the Chocolate Factory. But what this movie is based around, it's not like because we've already gotten like several Willy Wonkas, but this one is based off of what happens with Willy Wonka and how he got to where he
It's like an origin
came.
story.
Yeah, it's another origin story basically. I mean, it's got the actor from Dune, and we also got the Oompa Loompa. I forgot what his name is. Um,
Danny DeVito.
Sadly, I wish.
Danny
It's
DeVito should just
Hugh.
be in everything.
Yeah,
Like
the Oompa Loompa is Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
You know, Hugh Grant has made a surprising comeback career as like that's an actor that has evolved with the times because he went from being like a romance
Yeah.
actor to essentially like every role he plays nowadays is usually this over the top almost villainous role, and he plays it so goddamn well. And like Dungeons and Dragons, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you're right. It's funny. I forgot he was in Dungeons and Dragons, but he's the bad guy.
Paddington too, he knocked it out of the park. Like Hugh Grant is actually kind of impressive to me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he seems like he's gonna be a great Willy Wonka. I'm not gonna lie. That's another reason I'm excited for this movie. So it kind of looks like it has a great cast. So
Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
so kind of excited for that. It's coming out this month. So
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was December 15th. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So then my next one, I don't entirely understand. It's Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, if you like Leonardo DiCaprio, it's for you.
Who directed it?
Oh, I don't remember. Hold up.
Isn't that like one of the big name actor or like directors?
Yeah, I think so. It looks pretty good. It's long though.
Yeah, it's it's very close to 4 hours long.
Jesus
Not
Christ.
not a movie you want to see in theaters. But for some odd reason, it sold out several times in the theater I work at. Like, no joke. Like, it would fill up. Even our biggest theater was full. And I was like, what? Why? It's a 4 hour long movie.
2 words: Martin Scorsese. There's
What?
never
Leonardo DiCaprio too. Yeah.
and Leo. Like they've never really made a bad film.
Yeah. But, like,
Facts.
I would never watch it in a theater. Sorry. But supposedly I found out recently that it's based off of a book, too. So for all the older people, they probably read the book and was like, okay, cool.
For all the older people.
Like Lord of Oldor Frames wants to know what's it about, Micah?
Do you know what it's about, Micah?
Only a little bit from what I've seen.
It's essentially about like reservation and oil money. So I think it's about a bunch of people, like a bunch of essentially like white settlers coming in trying to like make money off the oil on land, and they're trying to chase off like the Indians. And I think Leo like marries an Indian woman, and like he ends up, because I think he's supposed to be like a spy, and then he ends up. This is all just what I gathered from the trailer, and it looks like he like kind of basically ends up siding with like his wife and like falling in love with her and stuff. I don't know. I could be totally fucking wrong. So but it's suspenseful. It's definitely like a drama.
So
Yeah,
kind of like a a river runs through it kind of film.
I'd say so.
Okay. I'd watch it. I mean, like, if it came to Netflix, I don't think I'd go see it in theaters.
I
But
think it actually did come to Netflix recently.
What?
Or maybe, I don't know.
Oh fuck!
I might be
I
thinking
don't
of
know,
something
man.
else.
Yeah, because I think it's still in theaters because it just came out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard about this. Like, I've seen it in passing, but I haven't really paid much attention to
Oh
it.
no, it was the Mario movie that came out. Never mind. I'm getting movies mixed up. It's fine.
Wow,
Mario movie,
you got me
you know,
excited.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
It
very similar.
super similar
Yeah.
right there. One's made by Illumination and the other one's made by an actual director.
So Mario movies made by the actual director and Illumination made Killers of the Flower Moon. Gotcha.
If Illumination made a 4-hour fucking film, I would fucking off myself. That would be it.
Me and the boys going to see Minions 3. I loved those memes when people were dressing up in suits to go see the Minions films.
Well,
God,
the
good
funny thing
times.
is, on TikTok, people made a minion cult.
Yeah.
Every single person, if you kept scrolling, all you'd see is a minion picture. Minion picture, like all profile pictures. And it just started consuming everything.
Yeah.
I never went into it, but like
I think we just need a nuclear war. I think just wipe the slate clean, start
Dude,
over with humanity.
You can't be saying that stuff, dude. The Minions are gonna show up at your door and be like, "You're our leader now."
I'd be the one to fucking survive, and the rest of the world is goddamn minions.
Where
It's
were
like,
the minions during World War II, huh? Where do you think they were? Who do you think they were working for?
oh,
Huh?
huzzah.
Oh. No,
So
supposedly they
excited
were
for that.
frozen. So, yeah. I don't buy that one bit.
Okay. My next one did the worst in box office possible. Like
Womp womp.
Marvel's, like
Oh, I'm sorry. That was perfect, but I don't. Go on. I
I
don't.
don't know what happened to this film, but like the first thing I saw after it came out, worst Marvel movie to ever go into theaters because nobody went to see it. Maybe like a couple people, but like nobody went to see it.
I
So
don't
like
think it's an objectively bad film. I think like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 put such a nice little cap on the Marvel universe, followed by Loki, that it's like that's the kind of shit I want to watch. Like
yeah,
Disney has oversaturated its waters with these Marvel films, and people are starting to lose interest and pick and choose. I mean, I started with Eternals. I was like, I'm not gonna go watch that, and then I came back for Spider-Man. You know?
Here,
yeah,
here's the big thing: is you have a lot of like adult Marvel fans, and they will go see the movies because they have the time and because they like Marvel. Um, but you have to be real with yourself. Like a lot of these ticket sales are like families and like children who want to go see these movies and stuff, right? And like, take the whole family. I don't think a bunch of children were like, I want to go see the Marvels. Like, I just it isn't like, to just be real, like Captain Marvel, like she's not, I don't know. I don't think that's what the kids want. They want Thor, they want Iron Man, they want Captain America. I think that's why a lot of these other films don't do as well unless they're actually just really good. So, but I don't
Well,
think,
I mean,
yeah,
Disney spent 10 years building the Avengers, and
yeah,
everybody was like, and I'm not saying that like the Avengers weren't on the map. No, they weren't. I mean, okay, let me backpedal that a sec. The Avengers were known to comic book fan like nerds, but not
yeah.
everybody knew fucking Iron Man. Like people knew like Thor, they knew Hulk and shit like that, but nobody really knew Iron Man. And then they spent 10 years building up this team that people cared about. And then, as actors do, they leave the franchise, and now they're left with like okay, let's scrape together another group of Avengers. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, we don't want that. I want Robert Downey Jr. back, while also realistically understanding that that's not going to happen.
yeah.
No, although I've heard some rumors that they're bringing him back. So what's that about? Have you guys heard this?
I've heard that they're bringing back most of the Avengers. Just I believe it's for either Secret Wars or King Dynasty because Loki pretty much has the multiverse in his hands, but like
Okay,
it's not really. I believe if they do bring him back, it's going to be from a different multiverse, like a different
gotcha.
universe.
So it's gonna be like cameos essentially, like,
Yeah,
or they're
pretty
gonna
much.
be playing themselves just from other universes.
And see,
Yeah,
that's the other thing is like that's the in-universe explanation. The real world explanation is that Disney's in fucking like oh shit mode. We haven't released a decent fucking Marvel
Um,
movie since Guardians 3, or technically they keep leapfrogging the good films, right? Like Guardians 3 dropped, that was great. Or Spider-Man dropped, that was great. And then whatever the fuck came after Spider-Man, uh and then,
three.
Wakanda Forever dropped, and then whatever the fuck came after that, and then suddenly Guardians 3 dropped, and now it's Marvel that nobody cares about till Deadpool 3 drops.
Yeah.
It's
Although
like
yeah,
I'm not. Or what?
it's like they're paying attention to 50% of their films, and really what they need to do is, instead of reaching back to the old actors, like call me crazy or call me Disney, tone your shit back. Stop releasing 14 fucking films and 14 fucking movie or TV shows in 1 year. Tone it back. Release
Yeah.
1 or 2 a year.
Want
Tops.
good movies, yeah, like good, thought out. But yeah, but what were you actually gonna say about it? I would like to hear your opinion on it.
So I actually found the Marvels funny.
Oh,
It was just
sorry,
Sorry.
alright.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm sorry, dude.
it's good. It was funny. It's just more of like a Disney aspect still. The cat chase scene was great when the cats decided when Nick Fury was just like said, "Screw it, we're having the cats eat everybody. Take them off the ship." Because they were all a bunch of kittens. Because Goose, the cat, decided to lay a bunch of eggs since it's not an actual cat all over the ship. They at first thought it was like a virus or something. Till there was like 200 more. So then a bunch of kittens were all came in, and he's like, "Ah, crap. We have to deal with all this while all this is happening." And then, because during this cat chase, well, and like, because Nick Fury also, because since he met Miss Marvel fully, her parents decided to come up onto the ship with them. And oh my gosh, they were making like, they were criticizing everything Nick Fury did. He's like, "Oh, come on, I swear." Like, there's a scene with a ship after they get the cats to eat everybody to spit them back down on Earth, where one of the brothers like praying, and Nick Fury's like, "Are you really praying right now?" Like the brother stops. He's like, "Well, don't stop. We need everybody right now." So Samuel L. Jackson did a classic, funny Nick Fury. Wasn't as serious, but it was just like there. Um, One thing that did tick me off the most was the random musical. Oh,
Mm. They had a musical
yes, they
in the
had a
middle of the movie.
musical.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
this is the type of thing that like people don't want that.
yeah. Well, like
Yeah, I mean, they got
supposedly,
tried with Ghostbusters 2016 and flew over like a fucking fart.
Oh my
well,
god,
like
don't talk about what a
basically the world that they were going to, because the main villain's targeting every single world that to save her world to is targeting every world that Miss Marvel has either made friends with on or relationships with. She made a relationship to save an economy with the king on the musical world. She's like tells Kamala and Monica. She's like, yeah. So on this world, all they can do is understand singing, and it's like, oh great. And then they
Oh
just
my
start
god.
singing, and it's like, and then Captain Marvel does this whole singing sequence of how they're all doomed, and I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. That was the only like thing that ticked me off about that movie.
You know, I was reading an article about it because I'm not gonna watch it till it hits Disney. But they said like the biggest problem that they had with Captain Marvel is that they with the Marvels is that they tried to shoehorn in just constant action pieces and they never gave the characters a moment to breathe. Like
Yeah,
technically Miss Marvel, her idol is Captain Marvel, and it could have easily like they could have done that tact like never meet your heroes because Captain Marvel isn't exactly savory. I mean, she kind of like at different points in the film fucks over people. And Miss Marvel, that should have been a wake up call for her. They should have addressed that instead of just being like, you know what? It's cool. She's still my
the worst
hero.
was that literally seemed like it would have happened. Like there was the one scene where Captain Marvel, no joke, snapped at Kamala and was just like, "No, you're not helping at all. Now get on the ship." And like she was telling Kamala, "Hey, yeah, we're not saving those people, even though they're screwed and they're gonna die." And Miss Marvel looked at her like, "What is wrong with you?" And then a couple scenes later, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're best buddies." It's like, what the? Why?
Yeah, they're too afraid to address the deeper issues of like these films. And Like Spider-Man No Way Home did it so fucking good. Like, cause it was just like, Peter Parker can't save everybody. And he came to the realization that maybe he can't, but maybe with three of them he can't. You know? It was like he had that moment of hero reflection that we look for in our heroes. That point where that humanizes them. That goes, "Hey, uh maybe we can't do this, but maybe there's a different way. Maybe there's a way to be better." Whereas the Marvels just seems to gloss over that and goes, "Nope, they're still my hero."
Yeah, pretty much. But the bit, and then to admit it, I did love Miss Marvel because she was that more fangirl type person with thing. That's like the one thing I liked about her. She was just like, oh shoot, because like they kind of just dragged her into the space. So kind of like how they did with Peter Parker, like yanked him into space, and it was just like, and she was just like, oh shoot, I'm in space. Like, oh shoot, I met Nick Fury. Oh shoot, they're trying to recruit me right now. Oh shoot, there's a big villain. And like I would say she's more of the spotlight of the movie, which was great. Like at the very ending of the movie, they're they basically started off with the new Avengers because I actually got excited about this because she's one of my favorite actors, but like you hear the clicking of a lock and you see then you see a bow pop in a window. Haley Steinfeld walks in as Kate Bishop and like turns on the light, and Miss Marvel's just standing there like, hey, yeah, I know all about you. She's like, how do you know about me? And she's like, oh, this little tablet thingy. I would like you to join my team. And she's like, please. And Haley Steinfeld's like, okay. But like you got a clip of like Pizza Dog and all that, and it was like, because I like Kate Bishop that as Haley Steinfeld. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if anybody else has opinions on that, but
I
she
actually
does pretty
haven't
well.
seen the Hawkeye TV show.
I
I've
like her. I think she's a good actress. So.
Yeah, I'd watch the Hawkeye TV series. It's cool. It also the funny thing is people realize that except for it kind of threw it off because there's the ending fight scene um actually shows where Spider-Man actually swung. So
Wait,
like
what
it
do you
shows
mean?
like at the end of No Way Home, you know how he swings through the city in his new suit and all
Yeah.
that? It basically shows the exact same tree. Like where I believe Fisk Tower is, because that's where they were at.
Oh
So
shit.
like that's cool. Like Kingpin is actually in it too. So gotta see a little bit of Kingpin.
Wait, Kingpin's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, you have my attention now.
Yeah, and then and then it introduces Echo, the new series, which I was gonna talk about. I guess I'll talk about it a little bit now because now that we're on the thing with it, Echo actually looks like a great series because it does have Kingpin in it, and like it's the events after Hawkeye.
Now wait, is it Vincent D'Onofrio's
Yeah,
Kingpin?
it's from
Okay.
the Daredevil series, so which we might get to see him and Daredevil again in the Echo series because in Echo the trailer you hear Kingpin just talking about her and then showing all the scenes, and then there's like a little tiny clip of Daredevil darting over a table. So
Is there
kind of
Punny?
what?
I just want to see Punisher again.
I have
Oh
no
yeah.
idea.
Dude, I was thinking about it the other day. Dude, Punisher season 1 is probably like one of my favorite television of all time.
It's so good. And
It's just so good, dude. Frank Castle, like that Frank Castle is so good. What's the actor's name?
um Shane from The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I have
I
no
don't-
idea.
Hold on, let me
exactly.
look it up.
John Bernthal. Yeah, dude, John Bernthal's is so good, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's played the best Punisher to date.
Yeah,
And
100%.
his introduction to the MCU uh should be in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I'd love to see those like Hugh Jackman, Deadpool, and Punisher play off each other, even if it's just for like 10 minutes. So I don't know. I don't have my hopes up for that. I'm happy it's just Hugh Jackman and Deadpool.
I mean, he might be in the Daredevil Born Again. I mean, that seems like where a place would come in at. Or
Yeah.
maybe the Echo series, but I saw a lot of jokes on like the whole Echo series, how Daredevil and Echo are going to talk because Echo is deaf and can only use sign language. I was
So
like, oh, great.
Echo's a hero.
Yeah, supposedly.
Oh.
But
Okay.
back to the Marvels, the end credit scene, well, like the mid credit scene, because there's no actual end credit scene, was amazing. The fact that they brought in Beast and all that, because
Wait,
Monica
I
Rambeau at or
what'd
what?
they do?
So at the end
Spores,
of the movie,
molded fungus reward. Oh shit! I still have those rewards up. Sorry, go on.
yeah, you do. Monica, she gets pushed into a different universe where at the end in the end credit scene, you see her laying on a table on a hospital bed, and she wakes up and she sees her mom, which is the multiverse version of her, but like same powers and stuff.
Huh.
And oh my gosh, in walks Beast from the X-Men, like the one from the X-Men movies. He walks in, and it's like, what?
Oh,
And it's
And he's
Kelsey
interesting.
like,
Grammer's beast, so it's like it's legit.
yeah. He like
Hell.
walks in and he's like, okay, so I have some theories. You either came from a multiverse universe of this Earth, but that would be he's like that, but that would not make any sense. So we're just gonna stick with you. Have well, he didn't say that, but he's like, we're just gonna stick with basics. And he's like, okay, take care of your friend here to the other multiverse version of her mom, and just leaves. And then it zooms in on X door. And it's like, yes.
So real quick, Lord of Oldor Frames has the first 1,000 coins towards the spores, mold, and fungus reward. Uh, I'm not gonna take that off, but basically that means he can choose a topic for us to research and present as a podcast.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So that would be an interesting episode.
It would be.
So we do have the right to say no and choose another topic. So we're not gonna like obviously stuff that would get us kicked off the air, but
Hentai.
and yeah, banned from
Oh,
Twitch for the next like 2
dude.
months.
Okay, let's be real. Twitch is kind of fucking going a little buck wild. I don't ever open Twitch. I open Twitch and literally the first thing is a Pornhub actor. I'm like, that's a little funny. Like, I thought Twitch was about gaming.
You know, honestly, I opened up Twitch and it was like two girls in a hot tub dancing around
Yeah.
with like body paint on, and I was like, well, this is perfect. Kind of
Man, I
exactly
don't know
what I
what you
wanted to
guys are
watch.
seeing, but whenever I open up, one of the first streams I have is otters.
Mm.
That's you have the kids version of Twitch.
Yeah, I was about to say they think about us very differently.
They're very clearly targeting 30-year-olds here.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that because they introduced the X-Men, tied a little bit with Marvel. So hopefully Deadpool 3 is gonna tie it even more. Just yank it in. But my next topic is what I'm really excited for, which is also coming out this month, is What If Season 2. I loved What If Season 1. It was great. I'm actually happy with this one because first episode is supposedly going to be What If Nebula joined the Nova Corps. Second episode is going to be What If Peter Quill attacks Earth's mightiest heroes. And the thing about this one is that it's actually pretty cool because it's not our normal Avengers. It's instead going to be like it's going to be Avengers that are made during when Peter Quill was still a child.
Hmm.
So like instead of being yanked by Yondu, he's still a child, and like the scene it shows it in is in a circus, and like we got Peggy Carter, and we also have you get Hank Pym as Ant-Man, not Scott Lang. So I'm kind of happy with that one. Then we got What If Kahori Reshaped the World, which is actually like basically what they did Thor Love and Thunder, where they made the new child a new character. This is basically another one of those. So it's gonna be a brand new character in Marvel. And then we have What If Hela Found the Ten Rings, which also looks pretty cool.
Oh, that would be fucking dope. Is that Hela from like Thor?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'd watch the shit out of that one.
Yeah, there's a little scene in the trailer where it shows her walking up to the thing, but it also shows Odin actually attacking the father of Shang-Chi with the Ten Rings. So he's just like walking up, and it's like, oh, great.
So, just a quick side note. What exactly was the Ten Rings broadcasting to?
What do you mean?
Because you remember at the end of Shang-Chi, they were like, the Ten Rings are sending a broadcast out into the.
Oh, supposedly that's the Kang from. There's been theories that it's the Kang from Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I have no idea. So
Huh.
they kind of just left that there, and everybody's came up with so many theories. But
Or maybe they're just making this entire phase shitty. So when Galactus comes in and eats it up, nobody bats an eye. And we're just like, sweet, Galactus now.
whole movie about Galactus just sitting there eating planets.
I'd watch that. And eat Doritos at the same time. But
Yeah, just well, yeah. But then the next one is What If Iron Man Crashed into the Grandmaster, which is actually the episode that was removed from season one. Shockingly enough, so it was like, okay, cool. So we get to see Gamora and Thanos' armor, and then we get What If Happy Hogan Saves Christmas. And I'm actually kind of excited for this one because it's basically based off of Die Hard, where a villain takes over the Avengers Tower and Happy Hogan has to try to stop him. Oh. They also showed
Yeah.
a clip of where Iron Man's actually Tony Stark is Santa dressed up as Santa Claus, so can't
when
wait to
is
see.
this coming out?
Sometime this month, I believe it might be close to the 15th.
Okay.
Season 2. It comes out December 22nd. So, yeah. Then we got What If Captain Carter Fought the Hydra Stomper? So I'm kind of hoping that it has it kind of like Cap and Bucky, where it's just like that, but instead the Hydra Stomper is Steve and Captain Carter. Is what I'm hoping. And then What If the Avengers assembled in 1602, which actually looks really cool because I believe the first character you see is Ant-Man, but he has a sword, so it's like, yes.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
Yeah. And then it's What If Supreme Strange intervened. So I'm actually also excited about that because it's the Doctor Strange from the first season that just ate the black hole. Just
What, the one
super.
from Multiverse of Madness?
No, the from the first season of What If, like
Okay.
how they had that evil Doctor Strange that was like looked like nuts, and then he basically could become like started becoming different creatures, and then while battling Ultron with the Infinity Stones, he just ate the black hole. Just said screw it. It was actually pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm excited for this series. Hoping for Marvel Zombies again. Supposedly that's a whole nother thing. But yeah. Okay, and then my last thing is Leo. It's a great movie. I think you would enjoy it, Kenny, because it's a little bit like Paddington. It's it's a pretty funny movie. It's made by Adam Sandler. Basically, he plays a lizard that it wants to live out his life because he hears that he's gonna die at 75, and he only has a year left to live, even though he's not gonna die. But he's just there, and he tries to escape because the kids have to take one of the pets home, and he accidentally speaks to the kid, and the kid's like, "What?" And then he just inspires these kids and makes their lives like so much better. And before, because it's a bunch of fifth graders.
And the turtle's Bill Burr. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of it. Do they sing the whole movie? Is there songs throughout the entire
No, there's
movie? Or that's
random.
just the beginning?
The worst thing about this movie is there's random songs that,
Yeah.
even if it's like a split second, it'll just randomly appear and then it'll be cut off by like another character.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam Sandler likes music, likes making songs, and like, I don't know, it's just
Like they're the dumbest songs ever. Like when he's singing to the most popular girl, he's just like, "You're not even pretty, da 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 da. You're not even that great."
Lord of Waldorf Frame says that's just any Disney movie. I mean,
Yeah.
so what I mean, I could get behind it. I could see it as something that I could throw on.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
Disney movie songs like kind of slap though. Like, let's be real, Moana's fucking soundtrack, absolute bangers.
I
So
just,
What can I
Aladdin's.
say except you're welcome?
Frozen, fucking bangers. I mean,
Dude,
dude,
Frozen 3.
I'm one of those people that managed to like avoid Frozen for the first 3 years until I finally sat down and watched it, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really good film.
yeah, dude, absolute fucking banger. I remember delivering subs and just blasting fucking the Frozen soundtrack while driving around Rad, and people were literally were tweeting and yik-yakking like, "Who's this Jimmy John's driver fucking blasting Frozen at 2 a.m. delivering subs?"
It's kind of funny because like you're just like you are literally like kind of a giant fucking built dude. Like you're what? How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", 6
Yeah,
foot.
you're
Yeah,
like
so
6'1", ripped, and you're listening to Frozen, just blasting out of your car.
yeah. No, I loved, dude, Taylor Swift, Frozen. That was my jam back then.
I'm
And I
not.
even, dude. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. Early Tay Tay, I'd get down with that.
Yeah.
Pretty much Red Album and below. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to any of her new stuff, but yeah.
Nah, her new stuff is a
Fine.
little bit of a
Yes,
stinker.
Frozen's okay.
You
Not
say
gonna lie.
Frozen's okay? Whoa, shit.
The only
Whoa,
reason I'm saying that is because I have sisters. Worst years of my life
Micah,
when Frozen came out. But
Micah, you just need to let it go, bro.
Yeah, dude. You just need to let it go, brother.
Just
well,
let
like,
it go.
okay, it is a great movie. It's just the songs have annoyed me enough to the point where, like, because my sisters would constantly watch it. So all I'd hear is "Let it go, let 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 it go." I'm
Micah,
like,
Micah, your sister shouldn't bother you anyway.
but I do like
uh,
Anna and Sven and the other guy.
Klaus?
the other guy. This is one of those classic moments where it'd be like you put the name on there and it's just like the other guy.
The other guy.
Like, yeah, well, cool. Well, shit, man, that was a lot, brother.
Yeah.
Well, we
Oh,
went through a lot
no,
tonight. Yeah.
I did want to mention one thing about Leo. The kindergartners.
Yeah, I love how they animate the kindergartners. It's pretty funny. Like their fucking eyes are like on the side of their heads.
Have you seen what they do? They're basically like horror little piranhas.
Yeah, yeah, they're little piranhas. It's hilarious.
And the noise they put in is like.
Yeah,
That's
we're
actually
getting
kind of funny. Well,
But
what's
yeah,
this on?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll watch it.
That's the
Yeah.
end of my thing. So.
Shit, guys. Another podcast down.
Oh
Ugh.
yeah.
Actually, I
Next-
think we. Nope. Well, it went like 30 minutes over 2 hours, but that's not our longest one, so that's pretty good.
Except it's the longest one I've been holding a pee for. But let's go.
Dude, if you had a wireless headset, you could just pee during the podcast. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't have a wireless headset. Well,
You
I mean,
guys-
actually, I do have my AirPods, but I had to switch between the slides, and it was like,
Dude, just pee in a bottle.
Yeah, dude.
I was
Yeah.
very tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I was very. I have like 20 cans here. I could have chosen one.
Yeah, you just but don't drink out of it later. Make sure
I
you
mean-
just write giant pee
Unless you,
body.
if you want to.
If that's your thing, I mean,
I mean,
if you
yeah.
want to develop a fucking what's that I'm not gonna talk about this with my nephew. Listen,
Don't
just
drink
pee in a
your own
bottle.
piss.
Don't drink your own urine. This isn't Waterworld, okay?
Okay.
Contribute to society. Don't drink your own piss. Good day.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. That's you know what? I think that about wraps it up. That's a good place to end it.
Bye, everybody.
We're gonna decide a date to do the next one when we'll be discussing the video game awards, and Micah will put it up
Okay.
on Discord and Instagram.
I totally forgot to do this one today.
You're good.
That's okay. I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna bug this shit out of you until it's plastered all over Instagram, and then people will know when we're doing the video game.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, after that, I think we're gonna continue with our trend from last year. January is gonna be 2023 a year in review, where we will discuss the best and worst from each of our categories.
And then the
of
next
the year.
month, Nick gets to decide what we choose. Or I believe Door.
We'll probably
February?
we will probably do a special episode for whatever he picks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, so it'll be kind of like our offshoot horror episode that we did.
Oh,
like
okay.
the Halloween episode in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Halloween episode in November.
Yeah, like that one. Where
Didn't forgot to put Halloween that day, or was that
Yo.
actually the third?
Micah's got to eat wings, and I got a child, so we're a little late. I'm sorry.
yeah, and I gotta get about an hours of sleep before I wake up at like midnight and play Weird West at 7 in the morning. Oh, we have another fucking podcast tomorrow. God, that sounded so depressing. We are doing another podcast tomorrow at
What's
noon.
the topic?
We're gonna be discussing the Yoki Ona.
Mm.
It is a Japanese yokai monster. Since we're going into the Christmassy season with all the wintry stuff, we have chosen to choose winter monsters. So the first one up is going to be the Yoki Una. If you want to learn what that is and about yokai tomorrow in the Japanese culture, tune in around noon. Oh no, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which will be
Cool.
noon Denver time and 11 o'clock on the West Coast.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be
That's
fun.
dope.
It'll be Crook and Murder for the week.
Nice.
Quick recap of it. All right, I'll give you guys a little. I'll give you a little spoiler. She controls the weather. Basically, Japanese yokai are essentially demons. It's like the demons of Japan. So interspersed with kind of like gods. And this particular one, while researching her, has so many fucking variations that you could write an entire book on this yokai alone. So I picked some of the best parts from the translations and the stories of the Yokai Una, and you're gonna find out what is essentially quote unquote the Wendigo of Japan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Indigo.
Wendigo of Japan.
That's
Who's
the,
that?
That's the impression I got while researching her. It's going to be a fun episode. But on that note, guys, are we going to go ahead and close it up?
Yep.
Oh, let's do some quick shout outs. Shout out to Lord of All Door Frames for interacting, as well as OniRam93. Go follow them both. That is Lord of All Door Frames, exactly how it sounds. And OniRam93 is ONIRAM93. Go shoot them a follow on Twitch. They're both really cool people. Thank you for interacting with the stream. And John Zara, a shout out to him and his YouTube channel because he allows us to do Old Lang Syne. Is there any other shout outs you guys want to do?
Oh, I'd like to make a shout out because showing the video, we should probably do that. Thank you, Netflix. I know it sounds like thing, but yeah, because the video was on Netflix's YouTube account, so.
I think we just need to cite Netflix. No, like fuck Netflix and their
fuck
their
Netflix.
what's that? Their handling of actors and streaming the shows on their service and not paying them. I'm very much not happy with Netflix because people like Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston devoted their entire life to making Breaking Bad, and they're not seeing royalties from it, even though it is currently driving that platform, or one of the shows driving it. So,
I didn't know that.
yeah, Netflix is fucking over, or was fucking over. I don't know how the writer's strike and actor's strike turned out, but they were essentially fucking over everybody that was making them popular. So, fuck Netflix, but thank you for letting us use your clip.
Yeah. Then never mind.
Okay. Man, I have got to go to bed.
Yeah.
So, I'm signing off. This is Rabble with the Weeb Report. Thanks for listening, guys.
And this is Kenny Crook Irish Kirby with the Video Game Report. Guys, keep it weird. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I am Spider Dude the Muncher. And I will see you all later, and I'll web you all later.
The Munch.
The Munch.
Bye!
Good night, guys.
Is that your porn name?
Yeah, search me up. Go ahead. No.
The Muncher. Oh, God. Alright, good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Okay, that was fun. We're probably still in the thing, aren't we?
Yeah, we have to wait for the thing to end. Oh my god, I'm exhausted though.
Yeah, now go to bed.
I probably could literally, like last night, I slept for about 2 hours because I took a nap from like 9 to about midnight, and then I woke up and played Weird West.
Okay then.
Have a good night, Lord of All Doll Frames. Thank you for interacting with us.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna say goodnight too. So, goodbye.
Alright.
Good night. Bless the V-Star.
Peace out, Spider Dude.